Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm live again for the third time in a row today, just because I found a double XP on zombies today, and I don't know when it stops, so I gotta get on it. It's Tuesday today, so I don't know if it's gonna go till Friday or what. Let me make the thumbnail real quick though. So they don't have a new map yet. Kind of annoying. Let's do the tomb. Make an image of a zombie rising from a tomb. There, let's just do that. Doesn't have to be anything fancy, I just need a thumbnail. Alright. I mean, the AI, it's not terrible at making images, but I wouldn't call that perfect.
Professor Croft indicated the Sentinel artifact is somewhere in the tunnels below you. The amulet should help you find it, if you can determine how it works.
The central artifact.
I've got a magic amulet and a shitload of bullets. What could possibly go wrong? Ancient problems, modern solutions.
That's right, lads. Put your backs into it.
I wish they still had the old sound.
As sure as my name's Sir Archibald Thornton Smythe, a shiny headley to the lucky blighter who finds that door first.
Yeah, see, there's a trace of the old sound.
I believe the amulet somehow channeled an echo from the past.
If it keeps doing that, you better play something useful.
Got him.
That place has been shunned by locals for years. Even the Syndicate avoids it. Some say it rains blood there.
And here's me without my umbrella.
Max armor.
That's some max armor right there. Oh. Let me try the explosive bow. That's really useful for the low rounds. It's garbage on the higher rounds though.
It's dangerous. And dark. If there ain't any better ideas, I got my ears on. Throwing Semtex. Culling is why I wake up in the morning.
I'm hoping for the ice staff.
Roll the dice, shot in the dark, more like a pain in the ass. daring ass just got stopped, fucker.
Max ammo.
Who wants an omelet? I'm packing lots of eggs.
Double points.
Alright.
At least in Spec Ops, I knew what weapons I'd deploy with.
Oh. Yeah, if I keep trying the box, I'm not gonna have very many points.
Bonus points.
If you were full of booze, you'd be more helpful.
Teddy bear. Alright. Where's it going? It's all the way over there. That's not good. Well, since I got so unlucky with the box, I think I gotta scrap this game. There's really no point in going on, you know? So, let's end the game. I've gotta try to get more lucky. See how much XP I got though, it's double XP. Alright, that's decent for level 87. Did I just get a new camo? Wait a minute. Throttle camo unlocked. What gun is that? KSV. Where's the KSV? Aslan! Oh, they added a new special gun? Oh, this is one of those ones you have to buy. Wait, what? You don't have to buy it? What is this? What is it? It's like a saw gun. Hold up, I'm gonna try that out. Going back to the tomb. There's like a saw gun or something. This is gonna be interesting to try. Hopefully it's decent, because I'm gonna need it to get me to when I get a good weapon. Let me turn the brightness of my screen up. There we go. Look at this gun, man.
We are so close to recovering the Sentinel artifact. It should be somewhere in that excavation site. Remember, the artifact is our only hope.
Alright, let's try it out.
Back from the dark
Oh, what?
Why are there angry corpses everywhere we go? There's a curse here. It's on me.
No way, this is actually pretty cool. Oh, yeah. So they're even adding new guns to this game.
That's right, lads. Put your backs into it.
It kind of feels like I'm shooting a shotgun, but it's not a shotgun.
Nowhere. So it does sound very strange. As sure as my name's Sir Archibald Thornton Smythe, a shiny Headley to the lucky blighter who finds that door first.
It's only a one shot on round one, though.
from the obscurus Altilium. I believe the amulet somehow channeled an echo from the past.
If it keeps doing that, you better play something useful.
I want to try pack-a-punching this gun. If I pack-a-punch this gun, I wonder if it'll actually be really good. Yeah, it runs out of ammo fast too. So it's good on round one, but I don't know. I really want to try pack-a-punching it.
It's been shunned by locals for years. Even the syndicate avoids it. Some say it rains blood there.
And here's me without my umbrella.
Some guns that aren't that good become amazing once they're pack-a-punched. Yeah, see, it ran out of ammo already. Let's pull my knife out.
Show some respect for your elders.
Even the knife is a one-shot at round 3. So that gun's definitely not too good. But I think once it's pack-a-punched, it could be pretty good.
Bonus points.
Alright. Let's keep going.
Little heads up, the ripped off in Miss Craft's son. Would have been nice, Sam.
I do not know, but a threat of a document record confirms this. I must confess, I cannot understand anything. I doubt anyone does.
Sunshine's the best disinfectant, so I let some into your skull. Sentex thrown. Thanks for coming to Bodies by Week. Come again. Any day now.
Alright.
For these rotting meat
I
sacks
don't
that
want to
have put
trade
heart.
this weapon because I do want to pack-a-punch it. Ooh! Ooh! Let's go! Oh, yeah! Okay, so that's going to set me up for a good game. So I think I'm going to just keep these guns the entire game. Even though you kind of need the ice staff to get really far. I don't think I'm going to go for the ice staff this game. Because yeah, once you get to the later rounds, even the ray gun does no damage. You need that ice staff. awesome. This is perfect.
Tear them to pieces.
Last thing we need around here is a fucking bug infestation.
Max ammo.
Wonder how this gun will play on this round. Oh, look, it barely does anything. Oh, so it's really bad. I still want to pack-a-punch it, because it has potential. Like, what if when you pack-a-punch it, it has explosive rounds? The rounds explode. That could be really good.
All aboard, Weaver's got armor.
After 3 long laborious days, that damn thing opened up. Some say life is about the journey and not the destination. To which I retort, let us get the classroom. Stand before a precipice. Forward, through the door to nowhere.
Fuck me. Reminds me of a disco in Vladivostok. Not in a good way.
I want to get that nuke. It's going to kill all the zombies. I need them for points.
Sky's the limit, so you piss me off.
Oh well. I'm going to try pack-a-punching my new gun first. Try pack-a-punching the new one. Come on. Where are all the zombies at? Oh yeah, look how bad it is on this round. It takes almost the whole magazine just to take out one zombie. I'm gonna pack-a-punch it. It's probably still gonna be shit. I gotta see though.
Hey, over here, you dead fucks!
Okay, I have enough to pack-a-punch it. Let's see.
Yes, I still got it.
Moment of truth. So it is a one-shot. It is a one-shot now. It's got a lot more ammo.
Up close and fair.
It might actually be decent. Find out on round 10 if it's still an insta-kill. I can actually upgrade it a bit though. Oh yeah, the upgrade spot. I don't think there is an upgrade spot in this area. It's still one shot. It's still one shot at round 10. It's only a common weapon. It's not bad. Oh, it's like a shotgun. Yeah, it does kill zombies behind it too.
Bonus points.
Warning, there may be some collateral damage.
Let's try to do it. Oh, I should get Juggernog, and then I'm gonna see if I can give it some upgrades here. Uh-oh. Yeah. I was hoping it'd be a little bit better. Pack-a-punched. Oh yeah. Oh! Almost got him.
Somebody's mama never warned them about licking batteries.
Does this weapon not level up? I still haven't leveled it up. Huh. Yeah, so the ray gun's better. I still like this gun though. It's fun. Yeah, the ray gun's so much better. It's not even pack-a-punched either. Damn.
Had me on pins and needles for a second there. target walks like magic these years. I think the walking pus buckets are starting to get the message.
That's good.
Hey, shitbags! How does that light up your afterlife?
Points.
This hole is going to get pulled out. Seriously, what made anyone subscribe?
2,500 for the helicopter. Wait, those things? I didn't think those things were on this map. Did they add those things to this map?
Ray said that thinning a herd is good for the planet.
Pretty sure those weren't on the map before. The fuck? Come on, bring the mystery box back.
All that's left of that crapsack nerd is a stain in half his glasses.
Yeah.
My chances just went from none to slim. That's
Oh. No way. No way, man. Ah! Ah! Fuck this gun. Ray gun time.
Max ammo.
Ha. Ha 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 ha. What is up with y'all motherfuckers? Why y'all going crazy? Ah.
I'm sure shit doing my part.
Oh. Oh, that hurt.
Sorry, but I'm not
Nah.
dying for like it either.
Nah. know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna exfil. Next time I get a chance, I'm gonna exfil.
Every fresh mag is a new lease on life.
Whoa.
Last time I drank this,
Roblox. Roblox. Oh my god. I want to play Roblox.
bad omens go, a bullet in the head is right up there.
Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Almost didn't make it out of there. Oh no.
It's like a symphony of bodily points.
That's how we do it in Roblox land. That's Roblox right there. Oh my.
Stop, kid.
Oh shit, we can get out of here now. Aslan, no! Aslan, what are you doing, Aslan? Aslan, you want me to tell on you, Aslan? I'm gonna tell on you, Aslan. How do you feel about that, Aslan? Aslan, Aslan, Aslan.
Museum's closing for the night. Let's fade.
Let's get out of here.
Chopper gunner close air.
Mm-hmm. Think you can get all of them? Chopper gunner. Oh, we got a lot of damage on that guy. I don't think we quite got him though. He had a lot of health. I think he went in here. This guy. One more.
Time is expiring. Try not to lose the plane.
We're out of here.
More proficient at piloting than in that car. As so many tell.
That's how we do it. Aslan! Aslan! What are you doing? Wow. Oh. Nice. So it does level up. Level is up to 4. Long barrel. Explosive blades. Ah, you can get explosive blades on it. I want that. Ricochet blades. Okay, there's ricochet and there's explosive. Those could be pretty good. Oh well. I will unlock it over time. I'm trying to get to 99,000 kills with this thing. I'm at 34,000 with this gun. So that's the goal.
Rapid Response Team Alpha, Security Chief Blanchard. I'll copy. I've barricaded the command center. Got a little dinged up. I'll live. See if there's anyone left to save. Body cam's live. I'll keep eyes on it.
Save that. Save that for round 2. Motherfucker has to save it.
Blanchard to Alpha. 3 Janus assigned staffers are missing somewhere in your AO. Locate and extract. Counting on their expertise to end this outbreak.
Somebody tell Carver I just won our headshot contest.
Keep pushing. We need to find out what caused all this, even if it turns out it was us.
The fickle finger of fate. Usually a middle finger.
Oh no! Didn't want that.
Cough up the goods. Jackpot. Who fucking are?
Uh-oh.
If you threaten me with a good
Uh-oh.
fight, damn well better deliver.
That's not good.
I'd fight those meat puppets with a butter knife if I had to. This is better. Last thing you need in combat is uncertainty. But here I am again.
$2,000 for that door. Headshot, bitch. Headshot, bitch. Ah, yeah. Aslan!
Snap to it, Box. I'm not getting any younger, but I could be getting deader.
Oh my god. Fuck this game. I gotta start a new game. Bunch of bullshit weapons. Maybe next time. Alright. Hurry up. Level 89. I'm level 89. Can't wait for the new map. They should make it already. Aslan! I don't want to hear it, Aslan. I don't want to hear none of it.
Welcome to Liberty Falls. Population? Well, less than yesterday. Never been so glad to see backup arrive. Hell, lucky I'm still in one piece. I need you to look for survivors. Subdue any threats. Let me save this town. Copy.
Damn.
Alpha, search the area. We've got 3 Janus Science personnel missing.
420 hours.
Take care of our own.
Now there's literally nothing happening between your ears. Do your worst. I've ranger trained to fire pretty much anything.
You know, people who lived here trusted us. We failed them.
And I open my eyes. And I open my eyes. It was only just a dream. Who made that song again? Man, I'm not getting lucky with the box.
Big gun, little
Again.
gun, I'll squeeze maximum pain from whatever you give me.
No.
Here we go. You gonna give me a gun or a swift kick in the balls?
Wow.
Got the hardware. God knows I've got the training.
Bullshit. Bullshit. Oh, nice. It went over this way.
Perfect. Keep wasting those little shits on sight.
Jerk me around. You're going straight in the wood chipper.
Another pistol.
Well, look at that. Did someone sand down your rough edges? Wow. I felt like this when I earned my jump wings. I bet you get off on this. You
Oh,
sadistic
yeah.
prick.
Max ammo.
I've gone from fuck this shit to cautiously optimistic.
Bunch of trash.
Like the jarheads used to say, improvise, adapt, overcome. Heads! You lose. Semtex out. I don't trust you, Box. I haven't trusted anything since Requiem.
What was that?
Looks like someone wants me to blow these stinking corpses back to hell.
Fire sale.
Fortunately for you, I am a
Come
patient
on.
man.
Come on. Something good. No.
Jackpot. I'm
That's
gonna
not
put
what I
this thing to
want.
work.
Oh. Alright. Oh, gotta try again. Holy shit. YouTube takes up 31 gigabytes on my phone. That's way too much. Let's continue.
Rapid Response Team Alpha, Security Chief Blanchard. How copy? I've barricaded the command center. Got a little dinged up, but I'll live. See if there's anyone left to save. Body cam blocked. I'll keep eyes on him.
Oh, a nuke! No!
Alpha, search the area. We've got 3 Janus Science personnel missing. Their knowledge is critical to mission success. We take care of our own.
Fuck center mass, I'm spraying some gray. At least this box can't screw me over any worse than a break off.
Salt.
Keep pushing. We need to find out what caused
Give me more salt!
turns out it was us.
I need more salt. Oh, the blood just dried up, disappeared. There was blood there.
Max armor. Don't tease me, Box. Just cough it up. Oh, look at that! Did someone sand down your rough edges? It might shock you to know I have stuff going on that doesn't involve dealing with your petty bullshit.
What the fuck?
This better not be like Aunt Polina's Matryoshka dolls and give me a bunch of smaller boxes.
It's gonna be a teddy bear.
Fucking off.
Tear them to pieces.
Oh no! No, those taste terrible! No, I can't eat that! No! Oh! Oh! Oh, those are terrible! Why is there so many views? That is terrible. Eat shit. Wow. That's just perfect.
We gotta talk about Donald Trump running for a third term. You gotta run again. They love the job with him. Most importantly, they love the job with him. He refuses to rule out running for a third term, saying, quote, there are methods. Let's see if we can get the exact video. It will be the greatest honor of my life to serve not once, but twice or 3 times or 4 times.
It will be the greatest honor of my life to serve not once, but twice,
Alpha Team,
or 3 times, or 4 times.
But now, in an exclusive phone interview with NBC's Kristen Welker, says that there are, quote, methods for doing so, and a lot of people want me to do it. As to clarify, he said, I'm not joking. He added, it's far too early to think about it.
Think about it, all right? Main thing was the third term. And then someone asked him about impeachment. Let's see if we find this one. It was about him running against Obama. And he was like, man, that would be a good match. It's like, bro, can we just... It would be so nice to not have that.
I do not want a Trump Obama. I don't want a third term Obama. I don't want a third term Trump. I don't want that. I don't want an election Pro Bowl. I don't want Survivor All-Stars. I want to stick with the Constitution. 2 terms. I think that Bill Clinton has another one in the tank. Please don't run Bill Clinton. Age, whatever he said. Bro, he's going to be 82. Trump will be 82 at the end of this term. Running to 86. Now, can we bring back George Bush for one last drive? Yes, of course. One last George Bush drive to really knock it out of the park. One last pitch. How about we just stop running the same people? I don't want family members. I don't want Barron Trump. I don't want Michelle Obama. I don't want the presidency to be sons, brothers, sisters, wives, cousins of the same. It's not a king. It's not a, you don't pass it down in the family. It needs to be a new person. Ideally, someone a little more in touch with regular Americans. Give me Jokic. Give me Jokic. Give me Elon Musk. You're right. Hunter Biden, 100%. Yeah, you're right. No, we should run Hunter Biden. I think Hunter Biden should go up on stage, do a line in front of everyone, talk about different hookers he had sex with, and then say, vote for me. And then just cinema. Just sell that. I think it's crazy to even float the idea of doing a third term. It's why I would hope that no one supports this in any real measurable way. It's crazy. It's not a good idea. Why not just after 2 terms they hand it to his son, maybe his eldest? I mean, we can go back to feudalism. That'd be kind of palm. Like, just give it to the eldest male heir, he passed through generations. That could be, I mean, why have we ever stopped monarchies in general? What was the problem with them? Whatever happened to monarchs? I don't understand. I thought they were being fired. Peasants got too woke, I see. Let me see. Is there anything else I want to say? I mean, actually, it's not like a deep topic. It's just like, it's crazy that he's bringing it up and not ruling it out. What's crazy? What I think is crazy is that he won't even have the decency to lie. He won't even have the decency to be like, nah, I'm not going to do a third term, and then switch up near the end. He just openly will say, no, there's ways to do it. Like, I'm not joking. That's like crazy. Trump is like me getting kicked out of the bar for drinking too much, but having methods to get back in. I don't think it's like that at all. I don't think it's like that at all. What do you mean methods to get back in? In what way? Are you just walking back in the door and then drinking more? Or are you going in the bathroom with... Won't they just not serve you? How are you getting thrown out of a bar publicly and then they're still just sitting down to buy or drink? Oh, fake. There are methods. We don't talk about it now because we're having just a good night drinking, but there are methods. I'm not joking. There are methods. Yeah. I don't know. That's ridiculous. We should not run for a third term. How's the stock on this going? Market tanked today, then kind of rallied by the end. I think it's about the same. Still a pretty commanding lead. Damn, everything's down, though. The Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P have just been down. I will say this. Top 5 stocks in the contest. We got 1. We got 2. Doug has 3. The 4th is Kroger, which Ludwig snatched from me. And the 5th is Nintendo, which was base bid. Do you think that higher prices due to tariffs will inadvertently cause people to become more financially responsible? It sounds like you're on the Trump economic team and you're searching for a reason. You're just trying to find a... but in a way, it'll make everyone more financially responsible because they're not going to have as much money to... No, I don't think so. I mean, well, let me be clear with my thoughts. I do believe that recessions, I'm not talking about tariffs, but recessions do make people more financially responsible by blowing up their finances and thus causing all unproductive investments to collapse and go to zero, and then eventually you reset and invest in good things. It's a normal part of the business cycle, but it's been so long since we've had a real recession that this one is going to be particularly painful. And tariffs, it's just gasoline on a fire. It's just a terrible addition to an already stressed economic climate, is how I would... That's my clear answer. I don't want to just have a joke on it. Hey, big guys, someone I work with started a year of encouragement independent of your year of kindness thought you should know. It's spreading virally, okay? it's spreading virally. Everyone's getting out there, and they're, it's passive, play it forward. It's good, recognized as good, okay? I've been so kind to this chat that I bet a lot of you are spreading this spirit of kindness to other people in your lives. Because I've been so kind. I think it's like, it's passed along. It's been like, virally going out in the world. What's your favorite J. Cole song? It's a toss-up between Grippy and the one where he talks about coming early. It's just so hard to balance those two classic songs. My honest favorite J. Cole song? I don't know. My favorite verse is probably the one on Johnny P's Caddy. I feel like that verse is so fire. When he does the Einstein bar, I don't remember how it goes. Theory of relativity, really no MC equal or something. That was fire, dude. That shit was so gas. Millennial verse. I'm gonna play a fucking Cardi verse and you Pog. I'm gonna play a fucking... I don't care. Call it the verse. It's good. It's a good verse. It's clever. Gen Z verse is just mumble rap. No, dude. It's not true. It's not true because people like J.I.D. or Denzel are incredible. But it's just the people that would call that verse millennial off are the same people that would not like good J.I.D. or Denzel song. J.I.D.'s millennial. Dude, it's not about your age as the artist. It's about the age of the youth when your shit starts popping. Like, many millennial artists are not millennial. They're like one gen back. Because they were old enough to be popular when millennials were young. It's usually the artist of your generation is one gen older. J.I.D. Vance. That's my favorite rapper. Sorry, folks. I like J.I.D. Vance. He's wrapping up this country in success. So our goats millennials. You know what? Like the number one selling rapper of the past year is fucking Kendrick, who's old as shit now. He's at his biggest career now. His biggest selling time is now. Says you? No, it's doing numbers. I'm doing facts. It's kind of like how the greatest rapper of all time, we can all say it on 3. 1, 2, Tom McDonald. Yes, of course. We all know. Tom McDonald. And he, transcends generations. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's not just good for Gen Z, he's good for millennials, he's good for everyone. Everyone loves him because he spits facts. Is he the one that had a farm? Yes, sir. I remember getting so drunk to swimming pools, classic teen year shit. I mean, me too, but it's funny that song is about the debilitating effects about.
So Trump Liberation Day starts tomorrow, and details are just starting to leak out about what it's going to be. However, we've got some breaking news on part of their plan, and that is talk to dead people. That's the subject of today's video, and this is the headlines from the Washington Post. Fired health workers were told to contact an employee. There's a problem. She's dead. And basically what it is they're laying off a bunch of workers, and if you have any complaints or if you want to talk to whatever supervisor, they send you off to emails that may or may not work. They tell you to contact people who are dead, or you don't even know that you're on the list of people who are going to get cut until you get to the front of the line. You swipe your badge, and then suddenly it doesn't work, and it's like, oh, I guess I'm out of a job. I know this stuff is hard to talk about because it's a bit insane. It's a bit crazy. It's absolutely absurd. And unfortunately, this is like our daily lives. I mean, we've seen this stuff before where they're mass chaos with the Trump people. This is the lines that I was telling you guys about here. Essentially, this is a Health and Human Services. I've seen various numbers of layoffs. No one actually knows for sure how many. So here's, for example, I'll read a little bit. It says the broad outlines of an unprecedented downsizing, so they're cutting jobs, of the federal health workforce were announced last week. A staff reduction from 82,000 to 62,000 from the Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy said it will save, quote, $1.8 billion annually, but the specifics were unclear until Tuesday. So, I mean, who knows? Regarding the contact the dead person one, that's if you feel you've been discriminated against, I think is what it was. It says here, some government health employees were laid off Tuesday. We're told to contact Anita Pinder with discrimination complaints, right? If you have a complaint, contact Anita. But Pinder, who was director of the Office of Equal Opportunity and Civil Rights at the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, died last year. That is basically the Trump administration in a nutshell. They want to fire you. They tell you to contact dead people. You don't find out till you, lost your job until you get to the front door. That's something that Musk has done in the past, be it Twitter or Tesla. We talked about this several times on the channel. They'll do things like, you'll get a text from your supervisor, not directly to you, that you lost your job because they've shut off your email or they don't have your contact information. Like they'll just screw up, basically, right? Or they'll do something like, once the stroke of midnight, they'll cut off all your access to your computer, so you can't even check your email to find out that you're fired. Or you show up at the Tesla or the Twitter and your badge doesn't work. You're like, oh, gee, I guess I don't have a job. And then, your supervisor might have got fired also, and so you don't know what's going on. On top of that, and I know it's crazy, this is how they run the show, and then they gaslight you and say, hey, you're all going to be rich because of Liberation Day coming tomorrow with Trump's tariffs.
Are they all going to take effect this week on the reciprocal tariffs? And whenever they start, is that enough time for companies and everyone involved to adjust to that start date?
My understanding is that the tariff announcement will come tomorrow. They will be effective immediately. And the president has been teasing this for quite some time, as you know. He's talked a lot about April 2nd as Liberation Day in America. It would be taking place today if not for April Fool's Day. But tomorrow will be the day, and he's been talking about it for a while. And as a result, you've seen these companies make commitments to investing right here in the United States. And tomorrow's announcement is to protect future generations of the senior citizens you mentioned. It's for their kids and their grandkids to ensure that there are jobs here in the United States of America for their children to live the American dream.
Their plan, and part of it is contact dead people. The other part is to say, hey, we're going to put all these tariffs on. They keep lying about that, other countries are going to pay said tariffs, etc. In fact, you're going to pay it. So it's awful because they're going to fire you, and then they raise your taxes on you, basically is what it is. They're going to say, hey, but Trump's tariffs are working when you got lots of money in your pocket because there's going to be all these new jobs. So
what does that look like for those watching at home, for the people you mentioned, worried about their own economic circumstances? It means more jobs in your communities, which means more money, more investments, more money in your pocket. That's what the president is committed to. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention the president's commitment to tax cuts.
This is where you'll know the truth or not from your neck of the woods. Do you see all this money flowing into your pockets from Trump's tariffs? I'm serious. Because that's the argument there. They say, just trust President Trump. He knows what he's doing. And then on top of that, Elon Musk is like X company is using The Sopranos to make an argument at the Supreme Court. For real, The Sopranos, the criminal gangster show. And I read this stuff, I'm like, are you people insane? Basically what's going on, and I feel like it's connected to the Sovereign Wealth Fund, which I've talked about several times on the channel. I know you guys are always asking me about the thing, where does the tariff money go? And I try the best to explain it because the Trump people aren't necessarily always forthcoming in everything that they're up to. But the plan is they're going to put tariffs, okay, that'll raise taxes on many goods. We're going to find out how many goods and by what percentages, et cetera, all the details tomorrow on what Trump is calling, quote, Liberation Day. And then they're going to use that money, put it into a sovereign wealth fund. It's like basically a slush fund. And then that money will then funnel to whatever Musk companies and whatever billionaire buddies to do their crypto project and whatever stuff they want, right? There's going to be a fight for that money. Chances are you're not going to see that money. Let's be honest with you. They have said several times, though, that maybe the Doge cuts will give you a refund. I'll believe it when I see it. I wouldn't hold my breath on that one, okay? The other thing that they're going to make the case is that, hey, guys, when we do tariffs, then that'll encourage all this foreign investment from other countries to come in, and they're going to build all these factories, and you're also going to have jobs and money in your pockets. The thing is, though, if you're another country, like, I got a couple choices. One is, yeah, I'll send all my money from our country. We'll build all these factories and give all these jobs over to America. That'd be theoretically one choice. The other choice could be, you know what? I'm going to actually screw the Americans. Forget that. Don't do business with them. And I'm going to just do business with other countries and other places that aren't going to constantly be raising tariffs, right? And in fact, that's what we saw yesterday with China, Japan, and Korea is forming a new trading bloc. You're seeing European Union coming together more than we had before. You're seeing Canada leaving USA relationships and going off and forming better relationships in Europe with them. And so that may not work for the Trump people. And then on top of that, like if the Trump people are leaving, just ride it out, go with the next administration, and go with better plans there, because Trump keeps changing his mind. He's unreliable. And then part of the Trump stuff, and I know like this is a headline today. Trump says he's settled on Liberation Tariff Plan, but doesn't reveal it. It doesn't take into account that other countries may raise tariffs back on the USA, right? So you'll have a trade war, and so this is where don't bother trade with the USA if that's going to be the case. Trump's going to show up, I guess, at the White House, the Rose Garden. All the cabinet members are going to be there. He's going to give this great speech how we're all going to get rich. I watched a little bit of the White House presser today. If you want to watch it, you can. But basically, she's just saying, trust President Trump. He's so awesome. And he's going to line your pockets with lots and lots of cash. Going back to Sopranos thing, and I had to sort of lay this out all together because you have to understand the absurdity of it, is I think they're trying to shield money laundering here. This was the headline. Probably won't be the biggest headline, because I know everyone's going to be talking about Liberation Day, but it's all connected, trust me. It says here, Elon Musk X asks Supreme Court to shield users from the U.S. government. Basically, the idea would be, okay, if there's data on X, the government can't look at said data, or IRS can't look at said data. Now, Elon Musk wants to turn his platform X into a financial platform. And, they're also piggybacking with the crypto case against Coinbase. So this is where I'm thinking there may be some sort of money laundering situation where they're trying to shield their users, whoever they be it foreign money or whatever. And this also ties into the sovereign wealth fund, because, again, you're figuring out ways, okay, I know it's complicated. You're figuring out ways to get, tax regular American people, put money in the slush fund, use that slush fund to go to crypto AI companies. You're also selling your golden Trump cards for $5 million each from foreign money. That'll also come in. And then you have this sort of legal thing that just popped up just today. I'm seeing it now. We're arguing a Sopranos situation to where we need to shield our data. This is actually from the argument from the X platform. I can see right here. It says, the genesis of the doctrine is a series of mid-20th century, quote, secret agent cases involving criminals or criminal organizations. This is the argument from the Musk people that they make. Think of Tony Soprano divulging information about his illegal business to a business associate turned government informant, and a prosecutor using the informant's disclosures to indict and convict Soprano. What kind of arguments are we trying to make here? We're trying to make here that, Musk or Trump had private conversations with someone, and then since those are private conversations, and then we can't look at that data if we're doing something illegal. Is that the argument that we're trying to make here? I mean, I was just reading through this crap, and it's are you guys for real? And this is more of it. I just want you guys to see what we're talking about. It says here, Elon Musk's social media company X has asked the Supreme.
You guys need to stop using the word authentic. You guys are all fucking fakes. But you've been designed by society to be fake. You have to show the best version of you. That's your ego. Wes Watson doesn't care about that. Wes Watson's authentic. You guys are fucking frauds.
Do me a favor. Shut the fuck up.
Not to say, we just dropped a banger on this bald fraud 2 days ago, and here we are again. Because this clown just can't stop embarrassing himself. I swear, every time we think we've cooked him enough, he finds a way to prove he's even more of a loser than we thought. And this time this bald bum's been exposed again for scamming people out of thousands of dollars. This time a whooping $4,000, man, and it gets shady. Before we go into exposing this bald fraud, big shout out to everyone who's ever watched a video, subscribed, commented. Y'all are the real ones. This channel is growing because of y'all, and we appreciate every single one of you. Now let's get back to exposing this bald fraud into oblivion. So today we got a guy who actually paid $4,000 to join Wes Watson's fake-ass course program. Yeah, $4,000. That's a whole car, rent for months, a fat investment, and this dude handed it over to a glorified Instagram motivational meme page. Imagine handing over $4,000 to Wes Watson, man. So this dude, desperate for some motivation, signs up for Wes Watson's scam program. And we know Wes loves this, right? That's why he deletes all his Instagram comments, disables them, or just straight up blocks anyone calling him out. But he sees everything. He reads every comment because his ego is fragile, and he can't handle even the slightest criticism. He only replies when he sees fresh meat to scam. This interview gets deep, and it gets even crazier. So as always, sit back, relax, and let's roll the clip.
That day or the next day, I'm at the gym, and I messaged Wes Watson. I'm just like, hey man, listen, I signed up for your course. I love your videos. Was the course like an actual course? Or was it more like the community aspect that you liked? I wasn't 100% sure what I was going to be getting from it, but from the sounds of things, I was just like, okay, I'm going to be brought into this community of his guys, and he's got this conference calls on the weekend where you sit in on these calls, and you get all these people that are like networking. And so I thought, it's one, the community, but two, you know what I mean? If I'm like joining this guy's team, whatever, it's all these people holding each other accountable, and I'm constantly going to be seeing these people that are like putting their best foot forward and being the best version of themselves. And so I was just like, man, I want to be a part of that. And he reached out, he messaged me back, hey brother, let's get after this. And like right away, I'm like, oh shit, because I've been watching him for a couple months at this point, like a lot. Anytime his video popped up, boom, I would watch it within the first few minutes. I had the notifications on. And so he messaged me, and he messaged me back, and he's like, let's get after it. And so we kind of went through the onboarding process. I had to do a wire transfer and all this type of stuff. I had to go to the bank because there's these issues. And so I ended up going to the bank, taking the money out. And I think after all was said and done, it was just like, I can't remember what I paid. I think it was like $4,000.
As you guys heard for yourselves, this guy was desperate. And of course, Wes Watson, the con artist bum that he is, messaged him back. Now, we all know Wes deletes his Instagram comments and disables replies because he's too much of a coward to handle real criticism. But we also know he reads every single one of those comments because this dude has nothing else going on in life. He sits there blocking anyone that calls out his scams while praying another desperate sucker falls for his BS. And boom, that's exactly what happened here. This dude actually paid Wes Watson $4,000. And for what? To get motivated by a bald screaming idiot. Like, bro, you could just watch a random YouTube video for free and it'd be more useful than whatever garbage Wes is selling.
I have the bank statement somewhere, the wire transfer. But anyway, so I wired him the money, and I wasn't really sure what I was going to get. Because his whole thing, was like, I never miss a workout, I never miss a post, I never miss this, I never mess up on a meal. And
I've never missed, I never took a back step.
Constantly preaching this. And so this whole I never miss thing was important to me because I'm just like, man, this is a guy who leads by example. He's not just someone telling you how to do it. He's someone who's doing it. I was like, man, this guy's the best. I was excited, man, really, really excited about it. And so, all right, and so he starts just, first we have to set up a video call or whatever. So he gets me onto his team, and he's like, all right, download this app. Here's how you're going to talk to your clients through this. Here's your workout schedule. And I wasn't like too sure about the format of things. So I'm like, oh, I guess he's like, I'm doing his workouts now. So he's like, download these apps, download this. And so I'm downloading the apps, and like I'm doing this stuff and filming it every workout. This so I'm like, oh, great workout. He's like, great job, brother, on these apps. I'm like, okay. And after like a week, I haven't really heard anything from him. The money's gone through. There's been no session booked, and I'm just like, so I messaged him like, hey man, so how does this exactly?
He's always running his mouth about how he never misses a day working out. Yeah, okay, buddy. Well, this dude who paid for Wes's stupid scam course said Wes missed 2 meetings with him. 2! The same guy who screams at his camera about never missing a day couldn't even show up for the things people paid him for. And finally, after chasing this scammer down, the dude actually gets on a call with him. And here's where it gets real disrespectful. Wes tells him he's only got 20 minutes to talk and that he should not interrupt him.
Hold on, like, very great. So I get on the call, and he's like, all right, so it's going to take me 20 minutes to say what I have to say. He's like, do not interrupt me. He's like, when I tell you you can speak, you can speak. And I'm like, all right. And so he's like, all right, so I'm sending you this now. He sends me some like copy and pasted thing. All right, download this. Here's your posting format. You're going to post it. Every morning you wake up, you're going to look in a book and find a motivational quote. You're going to post it. And then on this day, you're going to post a video. And then on this day, it's going to be another picture. And on this day, you'll do another video. We'll apply and highlights. And then on this day, it's this. And then Sundays, whatever it was. I can't remember the format there. But And I'm like, okay. And he's like, all right, now you're going to go on this app. You're going to download this app. You're going to download this. Here's where you're going to get all your clients to download these apps so you can track their macros and you can track their workouts and stuff. And I'm like, okay. And so I'm looking at this whole format. And he's never like sat down and like, tell you what your needs are, like the assessment. Yeah, didn't do any of that. He didn't ask. So he basically could have had the same conversation with me despite us having different goals. Well, he has his 20-minute speech that he says at the start of the video. Here's this, here's that. Do not interrupt me when I'm done speaking. You can ask me questions. And so I'm a little bit nervous right on the call. There's like, he didn't ask anything about myself. What's your business? What do you do? Like, what are you looking? How can I help? Nothing. Download this app. Here's where you train your clients. Download this. Put this here. And then, so like, we get about 20 minutes into the call, and he's like, you're at least like a normal guy. You know what I mean? Some of these guys, man, they're fucked. And he started talking about some like people that he had to deal with and how they're all crazy and the crazy messages he gets. He's like, all right, anything else you need? And I was just like, we've gone over that pretty good. I guess here's the format with it. Okay, I'll make sure to do that. And like, for your videos, do you video editing? He's like, no, I got a guy for that. So he said to me, like for his guy. And I'm like, all right, cool. He's like, all right, man, let's see what you got. And just like hangs up. And I was like, the call is 20 minutes long. I paid $4,000 for like a month of coaching. My phone call was 20 minutes long, and it was him copy and pasting things. Download this app. Go here. Click on this.
Bro, imagine paying $4,000 to some sweaty ex-con, and he tells you to shut up. Nah, this is next level fraud. This man literally charges $4,000 just to scream at you and tell you to post motivational quotes like some Facebook dad from 2010. $4,000 for that?
Fill out this form. And I'm like, so is there like weekly follow-ups? There were no fucking weekly follow-ups. Never reached out. Nothing. And it was just like, okay, I gave them the money, and now what? Well, that's, you had your phone call.
Now, you know what, you want to know what the now what is?
What?
He goes to podcast, I got both voices, and I got a mansion, and I got a fucking...
You know, you made a video, and you're just like, these guys, their secret is that they tell you they have a secret. Yeah. You know, and at that end, you know, it's just, fuck, it's true.
And what did this dude get for his $4,000? A 15-minute call and a hang-up. Yep, you heard that right. Before the so-called 20 minutes were even up, Wes cut him off and ended the call. That was it. No weekly check-ins, no extra help, no follow-ups, nothing. Just a scam in broad daylight. Wes Watson is nothing but a con artist in a tank top. And let's be real.
So what if the very thing that was supposed to crash the economy, Trump's tariffs, actually triggered a $3 trillion investment into the United States?
Once upon a time, we had an auto industry in Detroit. Then some genius named Bill Clinton signs the North American Free Trade Agreement, or corporations, you can screw Americans and go get cheap labor in Mexico and break the unions by going to Canada. Now, if you were General Motors, I'd say, it's like my birthday. But if you're a worker who comes from Michigan or Ohio, they just signed, you know what they signed? Worst statistic I'm going to tell you today. Average life expectancy.
Now, you've probably seen all the headlines. Trade war with China. Tariffs are going to crash the stock market. Experts were warning us that President Trump's aggressive tariff strategy would cause inflation, destroy jobs, and send the market crashing. Some people even thought that Trump wanted a crash on purpose to force the Federal Reserve to cut interest rates or let his insiders buy the dip. But for a while, it looked like maybe they were right. The VIX Fear and Greed Index went up, the stock market went down, Bitcoin had a correction, and tariffs became the villain in every headline. But something surprising just happened. Instead of the economic disaster we were told, President Trump's tariffs triggered over $3 trillion in new investments recently, flowing back into American factories, supply chains, and jobs. So in today's video, I want to explain what actually happened and why this was not the plan to crash the market, but a strategy to reset the global economy and bring manufacturing back into the United States. And by the end of this video, you'll see why a policy that was called reckless is now reindustrializing the United States, changing global trade, and making a really strong case for staying invested in the market, even when it seems like everything's falling apart. So let's get into one of the most interesting parts of history that led us to this point, because this story actually starts way before President Trump tweeted about tariffs. So let's get into it. Hi, my name is Andre Jick. Hope you're doing well. Come for the finance and stay for the economic plot twist. Now, when Donald Trump says, "Make America great again," the question is, when was that exactly? It's not just talking about vibes or slogans. He's referring to actually a very specific economic era in American history, and that era was before 1913.
America was built on tariffs with no income tax. No income tax till 1930.
The government didn't need your paycheck to run the country because tariffs funded everything. America was booming. The U.S. was the richest country on earth, and the U.S. had so much money, it didn't know what to do with it. Literally, there was something called Blue Ribbon Commissions, whose job was to figure out how to spend the surplus. That's the America President Trump wants to return to, and his use of tariffs wasn't random. It was part of a bigger strategy to rebuild that original economic engine. And that brings us to a recent interview with Howard Lutnick on the All In podcast, which lays this out better than almost anything I've seen, and I want to share it with you. Because to understand Trump's tariff strategy, we need to rewind to the end of World War II.
It's 1945. We need to rebuild it. Okay, so we decide we're going to take our tariffs and we'll let them, here's the key, we'll let them have tariffs be. And we will export the power of the power economy to let them rebuild.
Now, this policy was what's called the Marshall Plan applied to trade. By opening the U.S. market, we fueled the recovery of Europe and Japan, later giving the same benefit to Southeast Asia and Korea and other countries. And the strategy made sense at the time because the world needed to be rebuilt, and the U.S. could help make that happen.
And then what happens? We have the 50s, and we have the Korean War. So we let them rebuild, which means low tariffs here, high tariffs there. Low tariffs here, high tariffs there. Then we have the Vietnam War, right? So now also we have all of Southeast Asia. Low tariffs here, high tariffs there.
The problem is, we forgot to reset those terms. So decades passed, and a lot of countries kept their tariffs high and trade barriers long after they were competitive. In case after case, allies and trading partners kept their protective policies, which was a huge disadvantage to U.S. exporters, while American markets stayed wide open. And by the 2000s, the U.S. had one of the lowest tariff policies in the world, averaging around 3 to 4%, compared to partners like India and the EU, which had tariffs many times higher than the U.S. And this imbalance weakened some U.S. industries.
There is no country in this world that is free trade. Zero. And we are the lowest and the dumbest.
And by dumbest, he means U.S. leaders of both parties allowed a playing field that was tilted against American workers for a really long time. So by the time NAFTA came around, U.S. factories closed or moved overseas, and whole communities paid the price. In fact, we know this to be true by measuring the life expectancy of Americans without a college degree.
By the way, United States of America, 2/3 is high school educated, 1/3 is college educated. The difference today of average life expectancy between those two categories is 7 years. 7-year average life expectancy. It's not the air. It's not the food. It's not the medicine. It's despair.
So this was the backdrop for President Trump's thinking on trade, which, believe it or not, he talked about since the 1980s, way before he ever ran for president.
The fact is that you don't have free trade. We think of it as free trade, but you right now don't have free trade. And I think a lot of people are tired of watching other countries ripping off the United States. This is a great country.
So now, let's fast forward to 2016. By the time President Trump stepped into office, the damage was already done because America spent decades watching its factories move overseas, its workers laid off, and its industries destroyed, while countries like China and India, and even our own allies, kept their tariffs high and their trade barriers locked in. So President Trump decided to fight back by asking a really simple question. Who has the power? What he means is, have you ever heard of the saying, the customer is always right? Well, the United States is the world's biggest consumer. The U.S. buys everything from everyone, which means the United States holds most of the leverage. So President Trump comes in, and he uses a tool that most economists consider outdated and dangerous, tariffs. But he wasn't using them to punish consumers or to crash the market like the headlines were saying. Instead, he was using them as leverage to force renegotiation of global trade and to bring back money, production, and power back to the United States. He believes access to the U.S. market was a privilege and not a right, and if other countries want to keep selling to the U.S., they'd have to start playing fair. Every time he raised the pressure, the media said the same thing. Trump is crashing the economy, tariffs are inflationary, and this will trigger a recession. But what they didn't say is that pain was the point. It was pressure, strategic pressure. As a result, though, there's now going to be over 1 million new jobs and over $3 trillion of new investments from countries like the UAE, which just committed $1.4 trillion into the U.S. over the next 10 years. Saudi Arabia promised over $600 billion of new investment. Apple announced an insane $500 billion over the next 4 years, which is exactly how long President Trump will be president for. OpenAI, Oracle, and Japan's SoftBank committed $500 billion, $285 billion from Siemens. Taiwan's TSMC committed $100 billion. Johnson & Johnson plans to invest more than $55 billion over the next 4 years. Eli Lilly, $27 billion. And even car manufacturers like Honda and Hyundai announced tens of billions of dollars of their own. And this comes from just the first 2 months of Mr. Trump's presidency. So the question is, why did everyone get all of this so wrong? And here's where most people got it wrong, especially when it comes to inflation. And Howard Lutnick explained this perfectly. Imagine 2 bottles of water. One is made in the US, and the other one is from Fiji. And they both cost $1. Now, if the US slaps a 20% tariff on the Fiji bottle, it now costs $1.20. But the US bottle is still $1. That's not inflation. That's a consumption tax. And you, as a consumer, still get to choose which one you want to buy. But now, let's say the government prints another $1 trillion overnight. Suddenly, there's twice as much money chasing the same 2 water bottles. And now both water bottles just cost more. That's inflation, which is not caused by tariffs. Instead, it's caused by printing money. So while everyone was pointing fingers at tariffs and blaming them for inflation and economic ruin, something else was happening behind the scenes. And that's what most people missed. Now, let me take a quick pause from the finance talk to talk about your internet privacy. Today's video is sponsored by CyberGhost VPN, one of the most trusted VPN providers out there, with over 38 million users worldwide and a near perfect score on Trustpilot. That's over 20,000 people rating it excellent, which is honestly pretty rare. Most people think incognito mode is enough to stay private online, but it's not. Your internet provider, your job, your school, coffee shop, Wi-Fi, and even all the websites you visit can still track everything you do. CyberGhost VPN encrypts your internet traffic and reroutes it through secure servers in over 100 countries, hiding your IP addresses and protecting your data. Not even CyberGhost themselves can see what you're doing because they don't keep logs. It also unlocks content from over 40 streaming services like Netflix, Amazon Prime, and Disney+. So if you're traveling or you just want to explore shows from other regions, you're covered. It works on up to 7 devices at once, so you can protect your entire digital life or share it with your family. And the best part is you can get it for just $2.03 a month with 4 months for free, a 40-day money-back guarantee, and 24/7 support. Use the link in the description to grab the deal and start protecting your online privacy today. Thank you, CyberGhost, for sponsoring this part of the video, and now let's get back to it. So now I want to share with you how I'm treating this news and how I'm personally investing. Now, I'm no Jim Cramer, but he did say a sell-off should not scare investors. One of the scariest things an investor can hear, besides hearing everything's going to be okay from Mr. Cramer, is that this time is going to be different. And some people say that these next 4 years will be some of the biggest wealth-generating years of our lifetime. And that might be true, but there will always be reasons why this time the economy really is different from all the other times. But here's what you should remember about the market to increase your chances of building that generational wealth. And I'm going to sound like a broken record, and chances are you've heard all of this before, so this next part is mostly just a reminder for myself to stay invested and never bet against the United States. So the stock market is forward-looking. It doesn't care about today's fear and today's greed. It cares about tomorrow's growth. And during Trump's presidency, from 2017 to 2020, the S&P 500 returned almost 50%, even with all the chaos, the trade wars, the interest rate battles, and even a global pandemic in the final year. Why? Because despite all that noise, a huge economic shift took place. Supply chains were being rebuilt, factories were coming back, and $3 trillion is now being redirected back into America. And historically, that's when wealth is made, right when it feels like everything might be falling apart. Now, Warren Buffett said, be fearful when others are greedy, and greedy when others are fearful. And believe it or not, there's actually a fear index that tracks all of this. It's called the VIX, short for Volatility Index, and it spikes when investors panic. In March 2020, during the COVID crash, the VIX hit over 80, which was higher than the 2008 financial crisis. But here's the crazy part. From March of 2009 to February 2020, right before COVID, the market experienced the longest bull run in U.S. history. The S&P 500 gained over 400%, and trying to time that would have been impossible. A study from Fidelity found that the best performing accounts were owned by people who had either forgotten about them or had passed away because they never tried to time the market. They just held on. Another study showed that from 2003 to 2022, a $10,000 investment would have grown to over $500,000 if you stayed fully invested from 1988 to 2024. But if you were going to try to time the market and you missed just the top 5 best days in the stock market out of 37 years, that would leave you with $330,000, which is still a lot of money, but that's 37% less. And if you miss just the top 10 best days out of 37 years, you would have less than half of what you could have made. And it gets progressively worse from there. And the crazy part is that the best days come right after the worst days, right after those crashes and corrections when that VIX fear index spikes, right when people say, this time it's going to be different. So if you panic sell during those moments, especially when you read a headline like the one about Trump crashing the market, you don't just miss the comeback, you miss all the magic of compound interest. And the point is that no one knows what happens next, but history shows one thing. The winners are the people who stay invested through the fear, through the headlines, even the ones that say Trump and the tariffs are really bad. So personally, I'm staying invested so I could get that magic of compound interest. But in the meantime, don't forget to check out the link in the description down below to get the special discount for CyberGhost VPN. The app will protect your data while you browse and give you full access to blocked content on the internet for only $2.03 a month, totally risk-free. Again, the link is down in the description below. As always, I'd love to get your thoughts. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Smash the like button, subscribe if you haven't already. I'd love to see you back here next week. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Donald Trump went completely off the rails at an insane press conference, said Tesla multiple times, and what is almost now a requirement of these events, Donald Trump ended the thing without signing the executive order that he was there to sign with Kid Rock. A reporter had to remind Trump, you didn't sign the thing. And Trump goes, oh yeah, that's right.
2 or 3 days. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you, Fred. Thank you, Fred. Headed out that door right there. Thanks, guys. Thanks, guys.
Well, good. Okay, ready, everybody? Well, you better do well with this. He's going to do it. Make sure everything is nice and clean. You make America fun again. You're not in a clean industry.
All right, so anyway, Trump being reminded, oh yeah, I do have to sign this thing. Now let's get into some of the substance here. Donald Trump using this press conference and taking questions as an opportunity once again to say, poor Elon Musk, he's been treated so unfairly. Everybody loves Tesla. Tesla.
He's got, despite the way he's been treated, so he's an American patriot, but the way he's been treated with Tesla is just terrible. It's just terrible. It's like you have a Tesla, and you love it. You love it. You say before you bought a Tesla. A lot of people buy Teslas, I think, and I hope they are. He should not be treated that way. He's done
Teslas as far as the eye can see. Hold on, do I have it here? Where's my Tesla?
I love Tesla.
I love Tesla. Anyway, such empathy from Trump for the rich man. And then speaking of empathy, Trump asked again about soldiers tragically killed in Lithuania. I guess what my takeaway is that Trump is finally hurt.
Have you had any updates on the U.S. soldiers that they're missing in Lithuania?
I have. So, 3 are no longer with us, and 1 is, unfortunately, probably in the same category. They haven't declared that yet. It was a very heavy truck, like a toy, but I mean,
it was a very heavy truck like a toy.
Really heavy. It lifted the heaviest equipment, and it would seem that the bank of the lake collapsed. The weight is so big, and it was at night, and it was very cold weather, ice, a lot of ice, and it's possibly slipped, and the weight is so enormous of this thing. It's a massively heavy vehicle.
And as you can see, Trump just reeking of empathy for these service members who tragically lost their lives. Donald Trump was asked about the footage of Rumesa Ozturk, who was snatched off the street by ICE agents in the Boston area. And maybe not surprising, he says, I really haven't seen much about it.
Did you see the video of the Tufts University student who was taken off the street by ICE agents last week in hoodies and masks? There's been a lot of criticism of that. Are you comfortable with how that was handled?
Well, I haven't really looked at it in any detail, but I will. I mean, I have seen it quickly, but not. I wouldn't want to comment on. Yeah, but
it's only been like a week, so he does need more time to watch the 90-second video, and then I'm sure he will come out with a statement that we will all be extraordinarily impressed by. Trump asked, are you going to move to universal tariffs on all imports, or will there be different tariffs depending on the country and the industry? Take a listen to Trump's answer.
Are you going to move up to universal tariff or different individual tariff rates on a whole variety?
Well, you're going to see in 2 days, which is maybe tomorrow night or probably Wednesday. You're going to see, and they're reciprocal. So whatever they charge us, we charge them, but we're being nicer than they were.
Right. So this is code for I don't know what I'm going to do. Trump has no idea what he's going to do. I guess tonight at the stroke of midnight, they talk about April 2nd. I assume sometime tonight it'll be announced. And it's sort of, I mean, quite frankly, it's curious what's going to happen to your retirement account. Tune in tomorrow to find out what harebrained economic policy I'm going to put in place. And then finally, Peter Ducey asking Trump, what about if Obama were to run against you in this hypothetical third-term showdown?
Obama.
What Trump said.
Specific story, no, it's hypothetical right now, but if you were elected for some reason to run for the third term, is there a thought that the Democrats could try to run Barack Obama against you?
I'd love that.
For his third term?
Oh, I'd love that. That would be a good one. I'd like that. And no, people are asking me to run, and there's a whole story about running for a third term. I don't know. I never looked into it. They do say there's a way you can do it, but I don't know about that. But I have not looked into it. I want to do a fantastic job. We have 4 years, just about, almost close to 4 years. Time is flying, but it's still close to 4 years, and we're getting a lot of credit for having done a great job in the first almost 100 days.
So remember the question was, if you can run for a third term, I guess Obama could too. What about that? And Trump's like, yeah, that'd be great. But like, we're doing such a good job and everybody's extraordinarily impressed with what we're doing. Another confused and disoriented press conference. And the primary takeaway for me continues to be Trump seems only superficially involved in and aware of what's going on in the country. That's my takeaway. And when he is using some of these, I'm just not sure yet. I don't really know what we're going to do with tariffs yet. Maybe it'll be the same tariff on every country, maybe not. It'll be reciprocal, but I'm going to announce it. Tune in to find out. On the video of the woman snatched off the street near Tufts University. I looked at it quickly, and I will eventually look at it. It's like, it's been a week. How long does Trump need in order to watch a 90-second video? The takeaway is Trump is either constantly lying that he doesn't know things in order to not have to commit to any position, or he's genuinely being kept out of the loop as to what's going on in the country.
I got a chance here. This is the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office. We have a search warrant for the record.
Our objective is to go find people that are alive on Instagram flexing with guns.
Once we can find out where they actually are, it's a good tool to go and pick them up. All right, go time. Here we go, boys. Inside the residence! Come outside with your hands up!
In the early 2020s, Jacksonville gang violence and drill rap got so notorious that some labeled Jacksonville as ground zero to one of the deadliest and most disrespectful rap beefs of all time. One that left over a dozen dead, including multiple little kids that were killed in drive-by shootings that missed their target. The two crews at the center of this feud were ATK, known as Ace's Top Killers, led by gangster rapper Young and Ace, and the 6 Block Gang, led by gangster rapper Fulio. Legend has it this beef originated at a 2015 Kodak Black concert after a declined handshake led to a fistfight, led to a shootout where a toddler was injured, and a few days later led to a triple shooting. This rap conflict was documented in depth by YouTube greats Trap Lord Ross and Brandon Buckingham. Where we find ourselves today is a different era for Jacksonville. The extreme level of bloodshed and murder in the city led the police to fiercely crack down on violent gang activity. Today, we ride around with Jacksonville's undercover gang unit, we see a SWAT team operation, we get an inside look at their evidence laboratory, and we spend many hours out in the field in order to study Jacksonville's approach to reducing gang violence. Folks, let's get to it. Folks, a quick announcement before we get started. If you would like access to videos months in advance, like this Kenneth Copeland standoff,
No, you're not. Yeah. Off the property now.
the Scientology one,
Who do I ask questions if I want to better understand Scientology?
this piece in Area 51, and much, much more. Our craziest, most controversial clips, and become a member at our Patreon. Link is in pinned comments, and you support independent journalism. Thank you, folks, and now to the video.
I know last year, a lot of what we talked about is the numbers going down when it comes to the shootings and all, and the homicides. That's moved up a little bit. But here's why. We've had 2 people over the past 2 weeks that got arrested for murdering their mothers.
The Jacksonville Sheriff's Office says he killed his mother after an argument. The victim, Dulce Martinez, was found unresponsive in the apartment and later died at the hospital.
Former college basketball player accused of killing his mother in Jacksonville. Authorities were called to that gruesome scene Monday, found 51-year-old Erica Winford unresponsive.
And until y'all can start figuring out how to solve people, from killing their parents, or another one was shooting their boyfriend, or another one was a road rage incident, when we're now looking at those numbers of saying, yeah, you can't prevent those. But what we can do is prevent the ones that are out here that are on live, that are riding around with illegal guns, riding around with, illegal narcotics in their car. So obviously we've got some drug dogs we can call out on that.
I'm just making sure, my guys are where they need to be. If it's something big, real crazy, I'll go with that stuff and try to, bring it in. You're going to be right in the thick of it. Fair.
So if I heard this correctly, our objective is to go find people that are live on Instagram flexing with guns.
We find that they're prohibited or they're not allowed to possess guns, and they are posting with them and continuously flaunting on social media that they have them. And so once we can find out where they actually are, it's a good tool to go and pick them up.
All my rapper friends out there, yes, you just heard right. If you go live on Instagram flexing a switch, or maybe you're a felon showing a gun, it is very possible that your local PD is on a disguised burner account that might look like this, and they are watching what you are doing.
I'm someone that's in the streets and I have a hot gun. I do something, I pass it to a friend who passes it to a friend. There's the book, The Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. This is more like the Brotherhood of the Traveling Gun.
Sure.
Is that something you guys experience where...
It's not unusual to have literally a casing fit to a gun, and the gun has been coming back. So it can pass hands, but we're not DNA. We can't tell you that was the same person.
So how often do you get into hot situations?
Throughout my career, I've found myself there frequently.
Do you think you'll make an arrest tonight?
If it's there and we can make it, we will. We don't force arrest, and we don't arrest for petty minor stuff. This is to prevent and stop future violent crime, or try to prevent shootings or people illegally possessing firearms and drug dealers and stuff like that.
So what we do, we call them GVI, the Group Violence Initiative. You'll have a police officer doing police work, and all of a sudden we have a major incident that occurred. We started our process then, and what we started working on is changing the mentality. The mentality is real simple of whenever you have that incident occur, the old way was to grab a bunch of officers, put them in one area of town, and do what's called a scorched earth. That is just to go out to stop anybody that's moving. Unfortunately, the way we used to do it back then is to give everyone tickets, put everyone in jail for the most minor offenses, and all you're doing is fracturing the relationship with the community. So we wanted to change that, and especially under our sheriff, TK Waters. We don't want to fight with the community. We want to be a part of the community.
How long have you been doing this?
8.5 years. Yeah. We help out that other team a lot because we have access to unmarked vehicles, and they have marked cars, so we can sit in different places where they can't, and people will still continue their criminal activity.
And you made a lot of high-profile arrests.
I have been a part of some high-profile arrests, yes, along with the rest of the gang unit. We work as a team.
Detective Nieder and his unit have played a major role in busting the gang members involved in the ATK and 6 Block rat beef, including most recently arresting 5 guys in connection to the Fulio murder, and also arresting the 6 Block guys that, while attempting to murder an ATK rival, they shot and killed a 7-year-old.
Miguel, you ready to sprint if we need to today?
Yep.
Do you wish you had a concealed carry right now?
Alright, I'm set up looking straight down Cal John right here, Clay.
One of them ankle monitor, either hammered or holding a gun, then we can coordinate.
It's amazing that this is part of this is because of Instagram Live.
They know we watch too, but we have burner accounts and people that watch, so.
You guys can mimic it well. It'll be long live JJ, free so-and-so, free so-and-so,
Yeah.
A picture of a guy that, yeah. Mm-hmm. We're getting units in place. There's going to be unmarked guys. There's going to be some marked police officers. And once everyone kind of descends upon the area, that's when we jump out and action starts.
So we're going to wait for the right time. And when we have enough people, we'll make the tactical choice. And that's when we'll choose to move in.
When you pull them out of that environment and put them in some structure, they're actually fun kids to be around and they have potential. But there's something about this environment that just all the cards are stacked in the wrong way and all the choices that are made.
You know what's right from wrong, so you have the choice to make those decisions or continue living the life that you live. All right, 2 of them are walking in the cut now. They just crossed over. Here comes the third. One's got like red shoes on, blue jeans, all black, and then there was another one. They should be coming out on the Thomas here in a second. 4th one and the 5th one and the 6th one are all crossing the road now, headed to Thomas.
Why not get them when they're on the move?
Don't want to waste our contact with them, because then they're just going to be more secretive. When they're outside like this and they can run anywhere, but if we can get them locked down into a residence and 10 of us go surround the house, they can't get out of the house. We're waiting on them to give us a reason to contact them. So we're waiting pretty much on the guns to show up. We'll give this until the sun goes down, and then or it starts getting a little hard to see, and then we'll call it. Go and find something else to do.
36 SWAT guys who were working overtime, they were coming, and then we have 2 more marked cars and 1 more paper coming.
So right now they're just being scouted, basically. It sounds like they are conducting surveillance right now on them. We're waiting for other assets to get over here.
One of the other detectives that's working this case is actually working towards obtaining a search warrant for this residence.
How quick can a search warrant be granted?
You submit it. It goes to your supervisor for approval, and then it goes to a state attorney for approval, and then it goes to a judge for approval. And once the judge approves it, and it says approved on the computer system, it's as simple as just printing off a piece of paper.
The 2 that have been going live are both prohibited, I believe. One is a juvenile, I think one just turned adult. A judge is looking at arrest warrants for both of them right now for PFJD for both of their charges, and there's also a residential search warrant that's in the process of getting typed up.
The last I heard is the judge is looking at it, so I would imagine it gets signed within maybe the next 10 to 15 minutes.
We spent the next 3 hours camped out in this car, waiting for both the suspects to go live on Instagram and flex their guns, and also for a judge to sign a search warrant of the suspected residents.
The judge has viewed all of them. He just hasn't signed them, and that's been close to an hour now.
He probably forgot to hit sign.
Correct, so we're trying to get a hold of the judge now.
What plays to your mind in this calm before the storm?
Do your job and do it effectively. Do what's necessary and do what you're trained to do.
They have warrants for PFJD currently that just got approved by a judge. They were at the house earlier today. The ankle monitor shows he's still at the house right now. Based on our intel, we believe that Dawn is still there too. We have 2 detectives on Wright Street right now. They'll link up with the 2 SWAT guys to get coverage on the rear. We'll give you guys a little bit to get set up on there. We're presuming that they're in the house right now just because of how cold it is outside.
Jesus Christ, they got a force assembled, huh?
We're going through it now.
All right, it's go time. Here we go, boys. All right. You're good. I got you. I got you. You got down the side. Inside of the residence. Come outside with your hands up. Moving back.
He is now gone. This is the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office. We have a search warrant for the resident. Come outside to the front door with your hands up and nothing in them unless they're commands of the officers.
One at a time.
Ma'am, stay right there. Ma'am, stay right there for me.
All right, ma'am, you first.
There's 7 more. All right, lady in the front. Walk to us. Any weapons on you? All right. Step back here.
Why I gotta be in handcuffs?
Keep walking.
What the hell do with me?
Turn around. Walk backwards. No weapons on you. Turn around. All right, walk back here. Let's just line them up on this charger.
I got it. Time to figure the house now. Let's go.
Close.
You gotta take
We're at the scene. The search warrant has just been served. It appears all the occupants have been out. Most of them have been riot cuffed or handcuffed, and now they're trying to see if there's anyone else lingering in the house. It's an unsettling experience. I mean, we'll see what these guys are wanted for or what's in the house. It's a pretty dramatic experience to be pulled out of your house at gunpoint. A lot of these guys are really young. And if they are guilty of something, they're looking at probably a lot of time. In a functioning society, you want your young men to be productive and happy and making moves and having kids and having families and having good professions. So it's just this shitty kids lined up and cuffed. And who knows what their next step is. The family chihuahua. Oh, you little poor thing.
We ain't do nothing, man. Oh, no, I'm ready to go home, go to sleep, man. Talking about the day that just happened.
Well, which one? Big dog gotta eat.
Big dog gotta eat, yeah.
What's he doing in Jacksonville, though?
I'm seeing what the day in these guys' life looks like.
That's crazy.
Put crime scene tape right here and put one from that tree over there. And any of these cars that don't belong here, if they don't move them, we're going to have to tow them. Because
I didn't realize you guys were going to roll this deep. This is a caravan of cars.
You have your SWAT assets here, your gang unit assets, CPR, K9. So yeah, I don't think they knew that the house was going to be have so many occupants in it. So
behind me, there's a lot of people starting to gather right now. There's moms, parents showing up, concerned, upset, wondering what's going to happen. They want to see the warrant. They want to know what the charges are. And just with how the legal process works, from what I've learned, they're not always quick to release that information. Mom, what's going through your mind right now?
Is that my kids, they got caught up with the wrong people. And I told them to keep them people from over here. Because I know my grandkids don't sell drugs. But it's the
How old are
company
your
that
grandkids?
keeps. So, my oldest grand is 19.
Okay.
My baby grand is 4. And her boyfriend is, I think he's 21. And I know he ain't selling drugs.
Are you here 24/7 with them?
No, I'm not. But
Okay.
listen, he's already on probation.
For what?
I don't know, but listen, it was the kids.
It's not that I'm doubting you. You got to remember, you're not here all day long, so you don't know what's going on at the house.
So how would you say the operation went?
we're good. We were out here working GVI, which is like looking for like guns and like violent people, and then sometimes we get tasked with like helping them with certain things. So it's not like a full like SWAT call out or anything, but we were just tasked with like helping them apprehend the people that were in there. So they just call us to help call them out and get them into custody.
I'm going to talk to the families, but what I will say to you is nice mustache.
Thanks, man. I don't get that very often.
What's going through your mind right now?
I want to know where the search warrant is, first of all, because that's my house. I haven't been here in 2 months, so I'm trying to figure out what the hell is really going on.
Are you the landlord or do you live here?
That's my house. That works. So I don't know nothing that's going on. And I haven't seen a search warrant, and I haven't talked to no one would tell me anything, so I'm just out here in the blind with all my little cousins on the ground.
I met your chihuahua.
You did?
I gave him a few scratches. What's on your mind right now?
What's on my mind? I'm trying to figure out what's going on. What did they do? Literally. Like, what trying to fake news or something?
No, we're the real news.
It's my that they mom They've been watching the house for a while.
But I'm saying, what they've been watching, though. I don't even be outside.
Back and forth. The movement. Remember when I was saying, baby, y'all stop them from coming? Because y'all don't know what people doing out on the streets. Right. And then when they bring it here, that's what the people assume it is. Whether it is or it ain't.
But you know where I just came from, right?
That's what I was trying to say.
What's going through your mind right now? The officers allowed me to interview a couple of these guys so I could learn what was going on in their head. And remember, folks, these guys are innocent until proven guilty.
We on the DoorDash, you feel me? We trying to eat. I come outside, I see a whole bunch of lights. I know the police lights, you feel me? So when I see them, I'm like, damn, that look like the police, you feel me? But our food come down the street, so I'm like, well, I look like the police just turned too quick. I don't know what was going on. I seen too many cars.
Were you expecting this tonight?
Man, hell no. No, I was expecting this. I was just charged, man. I was on the way to the house, for real.
Just chilling. I just got
And I hear the dogs in the back barking. I see a bunch of flashlights and shit. So I'm like, man, I don't know what the fuck to do right now.
Hands up. I'm shocked. I ain't gonna lie, I'm shocked.
Do you adrenaline flowing through you right now?
Right now,
I feel it in my legs. Are you jittery at all? Like,
no, when they first pulled up and we was on the ground, I mean, I was shaking, but I wasn't really too much. You feel me? I wasn't too much.
I guess I can just tell, like, here, Jacksonville is not the place to mess around. Like, I've been with these guys the last 3 days. If you're doing something, they're gonna be on you and on you quick.
Yeah, the Jacksonville shit ain't it, man.
Is this the first time anything like this has happened to you?
No, the same situation happened up there at the park. It's a park right there. Same situation.
And what happened after that?
It was me and my friend out there, and police just blitzed out of nowhere. They just came from everywhere. We had nowhere to go, just like this situation.
How long ago was that?
December 26th. Last year coming up, the same police officer, December 26th.
Did you do a jail time?
I mean, I was a jit then. I was 17, so I only had to do 21 days and 2 weeks on probation and go back and do 15 days.
It blows my mind to think the first time wasn't a wake-up call, though. Like, why was that not a wake-up call?
See, it be like that. Like, shit, you might have a wake-up call, but you fall in.
Like you said, like Jacksonville, a crazy place. Like, you wake up and see that shit every day.
How many of these would it take for it to be a wake-up call that, hey, I gotta think about something else for my life?
I mean, we really wasn't doing that, so I say we all really woke up to it because we wasn't doing nothing. We ain't have nothing on us. They just, I don't even know why I'm in handcuffs right now. They said I got a warrant. I don't know what warrant I got.
There's nothing sadder than to see a young man full of potential spending years, his best years of his life behind bars, where you could be doing so much. You think about that?
Yeah, I think about that shit sometimes.
Think about it every day.
All the time. Shit, be real.
You don't want to be in jail.
Is there any message you'd want to send to a family member?
Message. I love you, sis. I love you, brother. And all my family and all the guys, I love y'all.
Take this as a wake-up call and do something important with your life. Do something positive with your life. Because life behind a cage is not...
Yeah, no, that shit how you miserable. All type of shit, bro.
That's the lions and...
Man, that shit really ain't for nobody, bro. That shit...
Nobody.
That shit how you going crazy, boy, for real, though.
Is there anything else you want to say?
Congratulations. I'll be watching you.
I appreciate you, man. All right, fellas, any final thoughts?
Boy, I love Jacksonville. Free all the guys, man. Please, free all the guys. Like, free all the guys. I love y'all boys, man.
Rest up,
all of the guys, man. All of the Tyreek, man.
Appreciate you guys.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you. How much would you attribute fatherlessness to some of the problems we're seeing in our community?
I think it's huge. You need an emotional side from the mother. You need dad who's going to be there to be a disciplinarian when time comes. And when that's missing, I'm saying that's usually what happens in a lot of cases where father's not there. With that, there's something missing. So young men usually got to fill that with something else. Maybe the family of a group of guys that he hangs with that are doing things they have no business doing. Not always the case. I know there's plenty of people that work here right now that grew up in very tough situations that are pillars of the community.
What allure do you think a gang has for a young man?
One of the things that we do in the gang unit, we also go out and talk to young kids. Before the internet, that conversation of snitches get stitches. Well, that's not true either, because guess what? The snitches come out anymore. They get it, because no matter what, when you're facing life in prison, but in order for me to only get 10 years in prison, I just got to tell what you did with me. They're all telling on each other, and we know that. And that's the education we're trying to get out to everyone, is not only to stop making that decision, because we're putting values on the wrong things.
You might be wondering what these guys were arrested for. A little later in this episode, we will head to the police evidence room to see what was confiscated during the raid. But for now, Detective Meter takes us into the field to do some patrol work. Here's what we encountered.
How's it going? I'm the Detective here. So the favorite lights put on you. Hey, a couple reasons I stopped you. It's a stop signs back here in the neighborhood. Make sure we come to a complete stop. And then your speed limit right here on 8th Street, it's 30 miles per hour, head you to 45, all right?
It's just a pretty typical stop. Just, looks like a lady trying to get home.
How many of these sorts of stops, on average, does it take to get, like, one where guns and other stuff pops?
It's really hard to tell, man. Like, even just some of the most, like, you want to say, like, routine stops have turned into be, something really good. The way I put it is you cast a wide net,
Sometimes you catch what you're not looking for.
No, ma'am, I know you're probably in a hurry to get home, but it's 30. Oh, it's all good. It's 30 on 8, all right? All right, you safe.
It's good. Because you knew it was little, minor, if anything, but you're looking for big stuff.
Yeah, she was very, she was polite. Raised any senses. She was just kind of work. I didn't know that. Pulling out of the school over here that she just got done cleaning. So, it just wasn't exactly what we would have been looking for tonight to try to cure violence.
There's a strong branch, I would say, on the left side of the political spectrum that say there's a systematic racism and that the police are there to put black people into the prison industrial complex. What would you say?
I will say this, from my experience over 30 years. The people that go to prison are supposed to go to prison. The people that get arrested are supposed to get arrested. And then I challenge people to say this, especially to my face. Explain to me one system, one government system that's in place, that's put in place to keep black people downtrodden.
How much does rap beef play a part in the gang violence?
An absolute tremendous amount. The turf wars back in the day began with drugs and money. These days, you don't have to sell drugs whatsoever to go on YouTube and become a rap sensation. All I've got to do is start talking trash about you. And what do? I'm now going to come shoot at you. And then my guys are going to come shoot back. Your guys are going to shoot back at me. And fortunately, in Jacksonville, we don't have the traditional, like the Crips and the Bloods. We've got small sects of those, but we don't have the big groups. We have a lot of the younger ones, the hybrid groups.
How much does the rap world and the gang world intersect?
Most of these gangs do have a rapper that represents the group. Not every one of them do, but most of the gangs here in Jacksonville do.
Do you guys ever listen to their songs to get intel on them?
Yes.
Because that can tell you what kind of guns they have, what kind of people are in the crew.
Yeah, so
where they live, what they've done.
Yeah, so that'll help you document members and stuff along that line.
When rappers post a music video and say, this is a prop, all these guns in the music video are props, does that save them from trouble?
No, not if they're not props. You can post a prop if you want to. I mean, we were one of the first ones in I think in the state that we started. I went to our state attorney, who's Melissa Nelson. I said, can we legally, if we can prove that these firearms are real, can we legally charge them for possession of a firearm by a convicted felon and put them in prison for it? She says, I believe we can. Let's go for it. And we arrested probably 10 people. About 5 of them went to prison.
Some people say that drill rap is sort of a cancer and it's impacting cities all across the country. What's your take on it?
Don't get me started, because I got a playlist in my car of real rappers, real artists who knew how to produce, and they did more than mumble. They did more than talk about killing people. They talked about killing people with their lyrics, with their rhymes. Eric B. and Rakim, they were amazing. LL Cool J, one of the GOATs. I talk about him all the time. The new stuff is weird to me. I can't even listen to it. The problem with it is they're talking about real things that have impacted real families. To be that callous and that hard when you're talking about someone's life, if you don't care about people, I don't care about what your so-called art, and we're going to do everything that we can to get you off of our streets.
Okay, here's a scenario. I'm a rapper, I'm making a very cool music video, and I have a lot of guns in it, but I put at the beginning, this is a prop. Can you guys still get me for that?
Yes, we can. We can determine if that gun is an actual firearm or if it is a prop. So a lot of people do put in that it is a prop. Sometimes they are props, but sometimes they're not. So we have ways of identifying those firearms that are in those videos to see if they really are.
I don't know if y'all seen it, but there's a guy on a bicycle right here. He's got no lights on his bike. We're going to try to make contact with him and see what happens. In the state of Florida, you got to have a light on the front and back of it. All right. Yes, sir. How are you? All right. You got to get some lights on your stuff, right?
I'm not home, brother.
All right. Where are you coming from tonight?
40 miles off of Franklin.
All right. That's a long ride.
Yeah, I ride every day, though.
That's good. That's good. All right. No weapons in your backpack?
No, sir.
All right. I'm just going to have you take it off and just set it off to the side. What you got bolt cutters for?
I mess with copper.
All right. I'm just going to put this over here by my car.
Okay.
No weapons on you, right? All right. I'm just going to pat you down, all right?
I got no weapons.
The homeless guy messing with copper. Isn't that a surprise?
Promise you, that's flashlight, no guns, no nothing.
Nothing in your bag, right? Mind if I look? Bottle rocket.
Yeah, that's about it. Oh, it's kind of sort of messed up. You got to zip it to the side. It's just the zip tie's holding the top part. Yes, sir, a little bit. I do, ice.
Whoa. I'm taking your piece.
Yes.
All right. So, you need to get lights on your bike. I don't care if you got to go home and duct tape that flashlight to the front and to the back, but you came across Tallulah right there, and all we saw was a reflector.
Yes, sir, I'm sorry. I'm doing.
Ride safe.
Always.
Mickey, I'll put the camera by him.
Great Toyota contact Bernie Robinson, morning 97 or 87, my bad.
Hey, how's it going? I'm Detective Meter with the Sheriff's Office. You got your license on you?
Awesome, thank you. Is this day on marker?
Alright. You got any ID on you, sir?
I got a picture of you. Alrighty. Hey, so the reason I'm stopping you is if you're in the front seat, they gotta have their seatbelts on, okay?
Oh, yes, sir.
Any weapons in the car, guys? No, sir. Yeah. Alright, I see. I've been out talking to me for a second. No weapons on you? No? You're nice, needles. Right. You can get up. How about you real quick? You get that? Can I go in your pockets real quick? Alright. You got anything on you that's crazy, man? Anything stuffed in your pants or anything? No, I just left the crew. Come on back here with your partner. What's up, bro? You have a medical marijuana card? No, sir. Product? For who? Him. Yeah. If you don't know what it is, hopefully you don't smoke it, right? No. Alright, go take that. What I do for work? I'm at school. Where you at school? I just go to EW. EW? What do you do at EW? Play sports? No. You know, just to go to school. What about you, Mr.?
I was doing Alabama City, but I got two right now for 6 weeks. They said you want to
Yesterday, trying to organize a containment.
that you're here.
No. Y'all are good. Unfortunately, you're going to lose your marijuana tonight. This one's better than going to jail for it. So, either one of you are bad kids, you don't have a record. So, just be straight up honest with it, alright? Everybody's not out here. Maybe up over some little books. Be safe.
Three scientists on a contact. Last seen in town.
One of them been arrested for one time. Ranch or crimes charge. Including all this probation. If you're a good kid, everybody's said they're enrolled in school. The other never been arrested. I don't see the taking a young man to jail. Start his
Ranger trained to fire pretty much anything.
Yeah, man, lost 60 bucks.
Sorry, fresh out of warning shots.
Where are we going right now? The Army Group? Where you put all your evidence in at? Anytime you make an arrest, and then we're going to make a European case. I was going to benefit it.
At this evidence processing center, the officers logged the weed and the meth pipes they confiscated, and we also got to see what evidence was collected in the raid that we saw at the beginning of the video. Allegedly, these were the firearms that were discovered in the house.
So a lot of cities in America are feeling the effects of gang violence. But we got to see a first-hand look of the guys that go boots in the ground and fight the gangs, fight the guys that are committing most of the violence in the city. And it was interesting to see from this perspective. We spent a lot of time on this channel looking at it from the other perspective, and my goal is to get into everyone's shoes. I don't care if you're a blood, a billionaire, a cop, a Navy SEAL, everything in between. We go into your shoes and see what your life is like. But we've got to see from a law enforcement side. And Jacksonville, by the metrics, is clearly successful in what they're doing. So I learned a lot. I'm happy with the experience. Thank you to Vic for bringing us in. Sheriff TK, and all the guys that we got to work with today. It's been a pleasure. It's been a lot. Thank you, and see you next week. What does it mean to you to be taking drugs off the streets?
It means a lot. We try to keep our community safe. We'll do whatever it takes to enforce the law and take drugs off the street.
Right?
Yeah, it's that one should be second block of the road.
Hey, what's the score? What's the score?
It's 1:20 on Saturday, and we're responding to a scene. What you just witnessed was an operation from Jacksonville's undercover narcotics unit raiding the house of a suspected drug dealer. You also just saw a snippet of their overdose team investigating a drug-induced death to see if there's a drug dealer that they need to find and charge with a homicide. Currently, Jacksonville law enforcement is receiving nationwide attention for things like cutting their county's homicide rate in half over a one-year period and employing state-of-the-art crime-fighting technology. For a few days, me and the boys embedded with Jacksonville Sheriff's Office to see their methods in action. This video is part one of a three-part series we are releasing, with part one focusing on how Jacksonville fights drug-related crime, and for part two we will be on a night patrol with cops and K-9 units, and for part three we will be looking into how their SWAT team and gang task force tackles murders and gang violence. This, folks, is unprecedented access that we are proud to bring to you. Let's get to it. Folks, we are pulling up on an undercover drug raid. There's a drug task force here in Jacksonville that is really trying to crack down on fentanyl and the problems that drugs bring into a community. This is a blood pumping type of experience. This is something where you breach a door and someone resists. There could be shots fired. You might have to bring SWAT. You might have to, it's a high pressure job. Let's go in and check this out and see what the next step is. You're walking into an office where undercover officers worked and where their top secret operations were planned. So we were instructed to keep the cameras low until it was time to move out on this raid.
So I'm Lieutenant Manna with the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office narcotics units. I'm over narcotics and vice.
And what's the operation today? What are we looking for?
Today we have a search warrant for a drug house. We conducted several buys from the property, and we know they're selling drugs from inside the house. And we are going to it's on the west side of town.
Is there a particular drug we're looking for?
We conducted several buys. We bought crack cocaine from there.
How many drug raids do you think you've been on in your day?
2-3 a week.
Do we know if the guy living here has many firearms?
We haven't seen any, because if we did, it was qualified. So the guys, the job they do is very dangerous, especially the first person inside the property, because you just don't know what's behind closed doors.
If you need to throw one of us in as human bait to make the operation go through, just we'll draw straws.
All right, let's go.
What does it mean to you to be taking drugs off the street?
It means a lot. We try to keep our community safe, and obviously this is a vicious circle with supply versus demand, but we'll do whatever it takes to enforce the law and take drugs off the street.
Do you think you'll ever completely wipe drugs off the street?
I think you can put a dent to it. I don't think you can wipe it off completely, because there are some, for instance, marijuana is legal in certain states. It's a very tough challenge. Again, it's a vicious circle. It's supply versus demand.
Where's that guy going right there? Yep, he's going to the door. Alright.
Okay, yeah, we're going to take him too. Alright.
Yeah, it's that one. Should be second block.
Door looks good.
Fourth round. Hey, watch this car. Watch the car.
Sheriff's office, search warrant. I guess somebody ran in the back door.
We got two. Gray jacket. Black pants, another one. They're running, they ran out of the apartment complex.
Soldier!
I got one. The other one was gray, the other one was
Something! Full bottle like son in the back.
I'm telling you right fucking now, this is gangster rap, you stupid bitch.
You don't want to pay charge something out of your high road.
Under your handcuffs? Fine. I did a finger between my buddy. That's kind of what we got to do.
Okay, already. So in this case, we got a bunch of crack cocaine. We have a lot of powder cocaine. We got some beakers, a bunch of drug paraphernalia, scales. So obviously, we got to say that was successful.
Is crack cocaine as common as it was in early 2000s?
It still is, I would say. Crack cocaine, yeah.
How would you classify this bust? Small, medium, large?
Probably a medium scale to small. Small to medium.
How many people in custody?
So far, 3. And obviously, we have a baby now, so we're trying to get hold of the mother. Apparently, she's at work, so she'll be coming back.
What goes through your head when you see a baby inside one of those houses?
You won't be the first. A lot of times, so we we hold the baby, we assist, and then what we do is trying to reunite the baby with the parents. And apparently, that's the father, who's the mother's at work. Since the father's going to be arrested, then the mother will respond to take control of her child.
Do they feel like, I'm glad that this is happening? That they got busted?
Absolutely. We get feedback all the time. They don't love these guys. They don't want them here in their neighborhood.
And they make them dangerous?
Yeah, they don't want drugs in the neighborhood.
In the last year, Jacksonville Sheriff's Office has fielded over 5,000 calls for service for drug-related incidents. And in a 2024 survey of Jacksonville residents, next to gun violence, illegal drug usage was the top issue residents wanted the Sheriff's Office to focus their resources on.
A lot of times they are afraid, and the ones they step up, they give us complaints and information. We want every complaint that we get.
I mean, to live in a place where dangerous guys with guns are in and out all the time, and junkies are coming, and you have kids around here.
And this is just the preliminary search. Obviously, they go into details to search the property, and typically on the secondary search, they find additional drug paraphernalia and additional drugs.
Our overdose deaths are down significantly year over year.
This is Vic Michelucci. Previously, he was a Jacksonville investigative journalist who won Crime Reporter of the Year. He left his 14-year career to run communications and media for the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office, and he is the one that opened up the doors for us to be here today.
Fewer people are dying.
And this is just one part of that initiative.
Yeah, this is a part of that.
Yeah.
But as you saw with that situation, not only did they find drugs, they found at least one gun. And a lot of times when you see drug sales, you see firearms, and that leads to violence.
The murder that comes with the marijuana trade. I'm gonna tell you, I've worked murders where a pound of marijuana was stolen, and people get killed for it. It may not seem like a big deal to the populace or to people that are advocates for marijuana, but that's a big deal. One life, I always say to everybody, is too many.
Look, there was that kid in there. I mean, that kid was, maybe 1?
Yeah.
I don't think there's any excuse for that.
Yeah,
when you're dealing drugs, doing drugs, around people that are doing drugs, to expose that child there. And we've had multiple issues of accidental overdose kids. And we put that out, and thankfully, the most recent instances, our officers were able to save those kids. But imagine having to give Narcan
to a 1-year-old.
We just got to watch a successful raid take down an armed crack dealer, but Jacksonville's war on drugs has another side to it, the Overdose Task Force. Whether we'd meet them, this trip depended on one thing, an overdose happening while we were in town. Early Saturday afternoon, that call came in. So we've been on standby.
What the fuck, my nigga?
When overdose happens, we're going to get the call. Unfortunately, it's 1:20 on a Saturday, and we're responding to the scene of an overdose. This is hard to walk into. I mean, you're walking into a family's worst nightmare with cameras, and just you want to be respectful of what they're experiencing, but also convey something that happens every day around America in a real way. So, see you in the scene.
Right now, the victim is still present, so we're going to allow you guys to come in, just kind of keep a distance. We'll be collecting a bunch of things. I think that would be very good, and like as far as the recording and stuff.
Who are you, and what do you do? What's your role?
So I am Sergeant Kay Cruz. I am with the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office. I'm a part of the Narcotics Overdose Death Investigations Unit.
We are allowed to cross the threshold and film inside the battalion?
Yeah. Just
We
don't.
have consent from the...
Yes. Yeah, and then that's also why I was speaking to the next of kin, because I didn't want her to be like, why is media here? So I was explaining to her the reasoning for you guys being here and like helping, produce information to give out to, the public to hopefully prevent future overdoses for overdose awareness.
As you enter a scene, what are you looking for? What are you going to...
So the very beginning of our investigation is the patrol response. Anytime patrol responds to a undetermined death, depending on the evidence on scene, determines what unit will come out to conduct the death investigation. The initial investigation, we're unable to determine what the actual cause of death is. When we respond to the scene, there's kind of two different investigations going on. You have your medical examiner's office investigation, and you also have your Jacksonville Sheriff's Office investigation. The medical examiner's office will do all the medical related stuff. So they're doing the toxicology, and they're actually going to determine the actual cause of death. We are conducting the Sheriff's Office investigation. So with any individual, or if an individual provides a controlled substance to an individual that is a substantial factor in their death, they can be held liable.
And we know that? We're trying to figure that out.
We're trying to figure that out. Again, very initial stages of the investigation. We're processing the scene with the crime scene unit. And also we're working with the medical examiner's office. We're collecting any evidence that may assist our investigation.
What has you wearing a mask to the scene?
We wear those to protect our identities because a lot of us work in an undercover capacity. So that's why we wear the mask, because we're out in the public. So we just try to conceal our identities from members of the public. So you never know if someone here at the scene provided drugs to the victim, or if any of these people could potentially be a suspect or a drug dealer for a case that we encounter later.
Is it possible that you might find the dealer, you might do an undercover buy from the same dealer that sold here?
Yes, it's possible.
Because that way you're familiar with the case.
Yes.
Have you ever been in a sketchy situation?
A lot of them.
Explain one of them.
I've been locked in hotel rooms with drug dealers before. Sometimes they'll do that to make sure no one's coming in behind you, so you're in there with them trying to buy drugs. Then they'll lock the doors behind you. They have guns on them. They have drugs there. There was a case in Miami recently where they made an undercover actually smoke fentanyl just to say that he wasn't an undercover.
He passed away?
Yeah, he did not.
What she's referring to is an insane story that just happened a couple weeks ago. A Miami fentanyl dealer got suspicious of an undercover agent and gave the guy two options. You either smoke this fentanyl and die, or I'm going to kill you anyways. Terrified, the agent had no choice but to hit the Chinese import in front of the dealer. Somehow he survived, and SWAT raided these guys soon after. And it just goes to highlight the incredible danger of this undercover profession.
I've had drug dealers before try to get me to smoke drugs, and it's just, it can be pretty dangerous and sketchy. Pretty much this entire career is pretty dangerous.
So what got you into it?
When I was little, I really liked the show Cops. Okay, and I'm not from Jacksonville, but when I was little, I used to watch the episodes, and I remember as a kid seeing the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office episodes and being like, that area in particular, I don't know why, stuck with me, and I was like, that looks like a pretty crazy place to live or work or whatever.
We talked to, prior to making entry, we're talking to Patrol to provide us with their information that they collected upon their initial response. We're talking to any next of kins that are on scene, and we're also talking to any complainants or witnesses. We're just trying to gather what happened before police were called to the scene. For this particular structure, the room where the victim was located is from the back. You guys can follow me and we'll go inside.
What are the primary things we're looking for? Where are your eyes going right now?
So eyes are going in the immediate area where the victim was located, but also like common areas of the house, living room, bathroom. We're checking for any paraphernalia, narcotics related, and any additional narcotics or any paraphernalia to even include like little baggies that could have been packaging for narcotics. I've been working narcotics related investigations for a little over 7 years now. I've been working narcotics overdose death investigations for approximately 3.5, 4 years.
What got you into the overdose unit?
I enjoyed working narcotics investigations. I noticed that before the creation of this unit, homicide was responding to these types of investigations. And this was kind of before we fell under the Florida State statute of murder. Once we started falling under that Florida State statute, we were able to dig deeper into different types of investigations.
Fuck yeah, let's go. Let's go. Hey, what's up? I just got more McDonald's. Let's dig into it. So I got a large Coca-Cola here, another coffee, once again. Let's see what I got. Oh, it's in 2 bags. What's in the first bag? So in the first bag, what is this? What's double? Did I get a double Big Mac? Oh shit, I got a double Big Mac. I didn't even get that. Large fry, small fry, and a McDouble. Yeah, let's go. And lean. Alright, Eslin, we got the double Big Mac here. Look at that. Oh, I didn't even get double Big Mac. That's my bad. Let's go. That's so good. Fuck yeah.
Florida lawmakers are not alone in expressing the sentiment that a drug dealer should be subjected to harsh penalties, particularly if they can be tied to an overdose death. In fact, just recently, Trump made headlines again by stating his long-term position that drug dealers should receive the death penalty.
Unless you have the death penalty for drug dealers, you'll never get rid of the drug problem. What that?
As someone who knows the drug dealing black market much better than Trump, I think the numbers he's throwing out are extreme exaggerations that have no root or basis in fact.
A drug dealer will kill 2,000, 3,000, 5,000 people during the course of his or her life.
It really depends on what someone's selling. If someone has sold fentanyl, obviously they have a much higher chance of causing an overdose death. But for some guy trapping weed, it is actually impossible that anyone has died as a result of his drug. It says on the DEA's own website that no one has overdosed from marijuana, and yet it's still a Schedule I drug. However, I do agree that a drug dealer needs to be held liable if what he sells kills someone. The question is, to what extent? What do you guys think in the comments? Should a drug dealer be given a death sentence if they cause an overdose death?
I found interest in not only giving closure to the family of the victims, but putting all the pieces together to try and determine who actually sold illegal drugs to the victim.
How many calls like this a week do you typically respond to?
The overdoses, they come in waves. There are times that we can get 10 in a week. There are times that we can get zero. There's no way to determine how many call-outs a week that we're going to get. Crime scene units here, the narcotics overdose detectives are here. They are taking photographs. They're looking around, pointing out or trying to locate any evidence that may be narcotics related. They are waiting for the medical examiner's office to arrive. Once the medical examiner's office arrives, that's kind of where we're now dividing into like 2 investigations, but we work very close together. Like I said, I think the more information we get out there to the public, make aware that it's not only fentanyl. Yes, fentanyl, that's what we're hearing in the news. It's a dangerous, deadly drug, but any illegal substance can cause a death.
Well, thank you for what you do.
Yeah, thank you.
Some Americans would say, hey, alcohol is legal. Alcohol has a lot of problems. I mean, if you look at domestic disputes, violence, fights, drunkenness, DUIs, yeah, that's a huge multi-billion-dollar industry. Why should we be any different?
Because why add to it? But why add to the problem that alcohol already causes?
Because prohibition doesn't work. The war on drugs has not solved since the 70s the issues of drugs in our communities.
So let me ask you this question. Because we should legalize marijuana because people like to smoke it, we should legalize cocaine, methamphetamine, we should legalize fentanyl, we should legalize all those things? No, of course not. Just because people like it, there are certain things that you just shouldn't do, and I think the government should uphold a standard.
So what gave you reason to believe that this could be a narcotic overdose in the first place?
So, based off the evidence that is located at the scene of a death, so for this particular incident, there is narcotics paraphernalia and additional narcotics on scene. We cannot on scene determine the cause of death. That will be for the medical examiner's office investigation. Because of the evidence that is located on the scene, we want to get a start on our investigation. So the van actually pulled up super close. We're keeping family further out, so it should be.
I don't know how you guys do this day in and day out. I suppose just like anything.
The more that you see it, the more that you adapt to it. And like I said, with these investigations, it affects the family more than anything.
I think this just goes to show how one death can affect so many people. It's such a ripple effect.
Right.
As you hear the family in the background, I think this goes to highlight I would not have the stomach for this type of job. And the fact that people like you are boots on the ground and see some of this, look death in the face almost on a daily basis sometimes, and have to deal with families and all the things that come with it. I mean,
right, I will say that making that next of kin notification is the worst part about our job, because we're having to tell a loved one that their loved one is no longer here.
what I've seen in my own family, there's not one person with the reach drugs has. You could be in a mansion or you could be in the poorest of the poor. There's not one family in America that probably doesn't have some impact of drugs hitting their family or alcoholism hitting their family.
Right.
It's just such a heavy job. And then this is the other thing is I think like this gives me perspective too, because sometimes it's easy to look at a deal and be like, oh, grew up in a messed up neighborhood with a messed up childhood, and he's just trying to make some money to put rent, to pay the rent. But then when it has the impact like this, that makes the entire family gather and cry, then you have a little bit more of a, well, when they get raided, you know what?
The drug dealers know. They know that they are selling this deadly drug. They know what they are selling, so that is why they should be held accountable for what they are selling.
And every single person has that voice inside their heart that knows when something is right or wrong. And to override that just so you can pay rent, even though you can cause devastation to an entire family. And one dealer might have, do you encounter dealers?
Customers.
Do you ever encounter dealers that you guys arrest that are tied to multiple deaths?
Yes.
Yeah, this really helped me change my perspective on drug dealing. I mean, there's so much that comes with this. There's family members that have to pay for the funeral. There's how many people had to call off work to leave here and come. There's people that their lives can be permanently altered by the grief. I mean, I've seen that in my own family very well. just in today's episode, the fact that a dad is selling crack cocaine next to his baby, and then we land at this scene over here, has passed away, and the family's crying, like, you gotta raise your standards a little bit. It makes me thankful. I mean, for the detectives, they have to collect bodies and investigate, and then the people that have to risk their life to go undercover to do the work to catch these guys, that's more of a risk than most of us are willing to take. It's an honest job, it pays the bills, and these are people that go to bat for us in our community. So, a really interesting perspective of how Jacksonville is fighting the flow of drugs through the city. That was a deep dive into the world of Jacksonville crime fighting and the drug division, their narcotics division.
Dallas police need your help right now. They're trying to find a 17-year-old who they say is wanted in connection to 2 homicides.
How did you get into this world?
It's family now. It's like every program once you get stepped on, you know?
Like, if I had the mask up, I had to let it go. Mama telling me to chill, but I can't seem to let it go. Every hood in Dallas, bro, it's probably like 5 young niggas that's really finna go do that for that sack like that. People really do shit like that cheap, too.
If I want to knock someone off, how much does it cost me?
That's it.
Businesses in Northwest Dallas have been pleading with police to address the alarming number of prostitutes in the area along the stretch of road near Harry Hines Boulevard and Walnut Hills.
Outside an adult video store where they walk up to cars in an area known for illegal solicitation.
So we're going to send him in with spy glasses and see how far he can get.
Hey. Shut up! Shut up! Police black roof and the police some little baby out. Hey. Shut up! Ass up! Police black roof and the police some little baby out. And I was like, man, this girl wanted me to be her film. I fell in love with that shit, and you know what I'm saying? I knew working 9 to 5, that shit wasn't for me, bro.
Does selling guns fund your entire life? What about a 12-year-old? They ask you for a gun.
I don't give a about what. I'm going to drop out.
When you think of big money in Dallas, Texas, you might think of Jerry Jones and Mark Cuban, or perhaps AT&T and Southwest Airlines. Here, skyscrapers dominate the skyline, and businessmen and press suits make calls and close deals. But hidden in plain sight, there's another economy altogether, one that does not operate on Wall Street. I'm talking about a booming underground economy that pumps out millions of dollars a year. Hitmen, gun dealers, pimps, and people that will sell anything for a buck. And as we speak with these figures in the underworld, we will ask them these questions. What's the price of a human life? What's the cost of selling your body? And where do you draw the line? This is the side of Dallas you aren't meant to see. This, folks, is the world of sex, money, and murder. How you doing?
Good to meet you. This is a place you can kind of openly appear. Shit, everybody out there be a pimp. You know what I'm saying? Pimping ain't illegal. Mixed pimping is illegal.
And how close are we to the stroll?
Every time we go, while I'm here, go all the way up and then meet here and meet up here and like that.
How do you describe yourself?
Around here, they call me bad boy pimp. You said bad boy pimp. It's bad boy pimping on that motherfucker. Like this is what I'm talking about. See, I've been back. Get light on no smoking, no drinking. I stay sharp as a knife. As like a nigga that really don't tolerate no mess, no plans. At the same time, I'm a good guy. Stand on business. You know what I'm saying? I give a about my hoes. You know what I'm saying? I give a about their well-being and shit like that, baby.
At what point in your life did you decide pimping is my career?
I've always had women do for me. I always was back. Man, suits when I didn't even know that they were suits, you know, were interacting with me. They would hit me up, and I wouldn't even know was trying to turn me up into some pimping. It just clicked one day, and I was like, man, this girl want me to be her pimp. I fell in love with that shit, and you know what I'm saying? I knew working 9 to 5, that shit wasn't for me, bro. You know what I'm saying? You want to wear them hoes? Shit, I'll let you wear Tommy G.
I gotta kind of get inner pimp mind state, you know what I mean?
Tommy G on this motherfucking hair, y'all.
You know what I'm saying? Finding a woman and just being like, listen, baby, what you're gonna do, you're gonna sell your body, I'm gonna get the money for it, and you're just gonna get trains ran all day, all night. I'm gonna profit. That seems like it would be a hard thing to convince someone of.
Because it don't go like this.
How does it go?
Shit, like I said, you know, I'm famous for the line from Pose and Toes, you know what I'm saying? Shit, it really goes be like that when it come to me, man. Like, say, look, Daddy, I want you to pimp on me like a mother. You know what I'm saying? She out here getting to some money, and she's struggling and running into trials and tribulations and shit, and just can't hold it together. You know what I'm saying? That's what's gonna cause her to want to do this.
What do you love about pimping?
I'm on my time. I'm not on nobody else's time. I'm not waking up to no alarm clock because I've done that. I've had the alarm clock set at 5 o'clock. I've had the alarm clock set at 4:30. Man, 4:30 in the morning, I'm outside. Now, doing what the I want to do.
You know, you go home for Thanksgiving, you say, Mom, this is what I've been up to lately. Guess what? I'm a pimp. Like, how does that go over at the dinner table?
Guess what I come to the Thanksgiving table with, though? I come with the table, you know what I'm saying? That's what this shit provides for niggas, you know what I'm saying? My mama not gonna knock me for a hustle. A lot of us come from young nothing. They were born in us to hustle. But the hustle that we got was way more special than a lot of this dope dealing and gangster shit and shit like that. We got it off the hoe, you know what I'm saying? People don't understand that this is a game that is by choice, not by force. The major percentage of people in this lifestyle are women that are willingly participating in this lifestyle, right? And that you have actual gentlemen, men of real standards and integrity.
So by improving your life, just like go fuck 20 different people tonight and go make money?
Right. For sure. The difference is the profession is just something that the average society doesn't understand. A lot of women may have never even owned a vehicle until they got around me. A lot of these women never even knew how to drive a car until they got with me. Most of the women in my life never had a bank account until they got
So you help them establish a bank account?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely.
You're kind of saying that the pimp genuinely raised the game.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, when it's done the right way. Yeah, when it's done the right way.
Are those twins?
Yeah. Nothing right here is a go, though. Hey.
Shut your ass up. I'm in that roof and the police on the music video. Put your ass up. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, the real Harry Hines, nigga, don't ever disrespect no mother pimp, no. Wrong with you? I'll get your ass in pocket, dog. Hey, who your big fine ass calling? Yeah, tell him it's the big old man rooster, pimp the rooster, though, ho. Yeah, regulate that shit, though. Get that shit in order next time, though. Yeah.
Is that tactic of baboon pimping?
Nah.
How is this open? How is this allowed? There's literally a line of automobiles. My first impression is I can't even believe it's this out in the open. Like, you don't even gotta be worried about anything.
Oh, I know. Do you want me to tell you something?
Yes.
I've been like waiting to come here.
Yeah?
For real.
So no one has to worry about police around here.
I don't really know. I just moved here.
Where'd you move from?
Oklahoma. And if this was in Oklahoma like this, like, you'd go to jail immediately.
I mean,
like, there would be cops everywhere. Like, it would be shut down. It wouldn't even be a thing.
I see old guys, I see business guys, I see random sketchy white guys. Like, it just seems like this is the place everyone comes.
Mexicans, basically, you know what I'm saying? It's like us all help each other make money.
Did you do this with people?
Yeah.
Did you do this in Oklahoma?
Yeah, I've done this for 6 years.
Okay, how do you find your lead?
Well, I mean, I post an ad, you know what I'm saying, on a site or whatever, and then that's how I've been doing it, or done stuff like this.
What are men asking for? Where are you most?
I have a lot of fetishes and things like that, like domination type stuff. Not really.
Are they inviting you to a house? Are they inviting you to a motel?
It depends on where they, live or, also where you're comfortable with. But where they, I'll go to a hotel, a house, party.
And what's the menu and what's the price list?
Okay, my only thing is I don't do predictive. You shouldn't go, lower than, 200.
Not every scene was able to fit into this video, so to see a treasure trove of inside access to see things you can't find anywhere else on the internet, click my Patreon link. It is in the description. What's the downside to this business?
I don't know. Right now I'm going through the phase of, people, disliking it. Being weird about the fact that we do that. You know what I'm saying?
What's up, Eric Cartman?
I'm in no mood for your shit box.
They're just driving through, but maybe if, I'm not getting out the car.
Well, look at that.
I don't think so.
Someone sent
Keep
down
turning
your
this light
own
off right here, fellas. Sorry.
Sorry, you're nervous in this?
Yeah.
Should we just go interview them? Get out of the car, you get out of the car, you go that way, we go interview them? That's your getaway call, and that's our...
Yeah, can I get out the car after you start walking that way?
Sure. Yeah, that's a good move. Yeah. Okay, we're going, we got. Behind us, the Dallas PD have pulled up to assess the situation, and everywhere you look, there are women in bikinis, skimpily dressed. There's tension in the air, we're not sure what's going to happen next. What do they call you? Magnus. You're saying one part pretty loudly in close proximity to police. Is that even a good idea?
Now,
should you though?
Magnus the motherfucking PI, man. You know what I'm talking about? Magnus the motherfucking man. Yeah.
And why are you comfortable saying that nighttime?
Shit, they know who I was. They pop out and tell me who I am. Whether they take me or not, I don't give a fuck. It come with the shit. But when we enter, security really wasn't feeling us. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't feeling me.
You think that's what it was?
So anytime people enter the shit, you know what I'm saying? Public comes on. You know what I'm saying? If they feel like power was really a big ass contradiction. You know what I'm saying? Cause the trick can ride through this world. You know what I'm saying? It's
I mean, we saw businessmen, we saw people of all races and classes pulling up. Good everybody. You don't want to report me, right? Like, are you so committed to this lifestyle that you're willing to face decades?
Yeah, I mean, it's like this. I don't have no problem with that being on the line because I know the way that I move. I don't deal with kids, for one. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that a grown woman can't tell on you. She can. When you have a certain relationship with somebody, you're risking it, period. You can be a married man and catch you a domestic violence case.
I guess I'm curious, what actually was it that made a call happen? And who would call the police if they saw what they thought was a pimp approaching? Like, what benefit did that have to the rest of the prostitutes and the customers out there?
Daddy teeth, and right now Daddy said honest be exact, and we fools.
And what is your profession?
Doing hits.
How did you get into this world?
Not necessarily. I ain't gonna say that it chose me, but I feel like it's just a new time. You know what I'm saying? As being a young nigga, what's trendy now is shit, killing each other. So it's like you get with the program, and shit, you get stepped in.
2016, he was murdered with one of his friends. Some guys had came to sell some marijuana. They pulled out guns and started to attempt to, I guess, rob them. He just got shot in the midst of whatever they had going on. There were eventually, thanks to me, 2 people that was convicted, if you want to say that, but it's like a slap on the wrist because they killed 2 people. We all are left here with the pain. So, that we deal with every day.
Good kid, very lovable. Everybody loved him. We were sitting at the table, doing the table one day, me and my boys. They was around 12, 13 years of age at the time. And I started letting them know. I said, danger zone, like the death zone, ages 13 to 25. And I said, one day, you might come in class, and that's empty. I'm glad you didn't make it. I said it may even be.
But I want to knock someone off. How much does it cost?
See if there's anyone left to say.
So $3,600 sounds cheap enough.
It's a lot of, like I said, paper. It's the homies. That's going now.
In the streets about me a couple nights. I had to mask up, I had to let it go. Mama telling me to chill, but I can't seem to let it go.
How hard is it to find a hitman in the hood thing?
In every hood in Dallas, bro, it's probably like 5 young niggas that's really finna go do that for that sack like that. Like, you got some people that do it for like 5,000. Some people, that shit, it depend on like whoever it is, bro. Like, people really do shit like that cheap too.
So you had to give a range. Like how many missions have you gone?
I could tell.
Are we talking less than 5 or more than 5?
Nah, it's like,
what kind of fear do you have?
You're going straight
I don't know what you got too much fear. You know, I mean, I think about it a whole lot. I got to talk to her.
Oh, good. Going back to the prison to defect my aim.
This could be your life in prison. What makes that worth 36, 37 $100?
These spec ops, I knew what weapons I deployed with.
To sit on death row or go to hell. You know what I'm saying? It's in the flesh. It's something you tend to accept. You know what I'm saying? It's an eye for an eye. You know, it's a lead for a beat. So, oh, shit. I mean, you know, you do your homework. It's a lot of different ways. You know, it's individual how to put, you know, how to the same place, at the same time. It's God's work. You have to, you know, it's all about respect, bro. You know what I'm saying? Disrespect me. I step on things. I show you. You know what I'm saying? If you bring the person, you know what I'm saying? What does his life need to be?
You don't feel any type of way about taking this?
You know, we do. If you say you don't, you call them up. I would say everybody tends to think about it. It's just a thought in their head. I don't give a damn if it's your mama,
I'll squeeze maximum pain from whatever you give me.
I don't give a damn if it's your 3-year-old daughter. When you speak it real, it's in the table. Everybody name come up. You know what I'm saying? And you have it in the corner. So that's how you make it home.
What is it about that 13 to 25 with young men that makes it such a dangerous house?
When I was coming up, the dude that was doing the and stealing and robbing and had money, hey man, you know what? You better be in school. They might catch you skipping school. It was more like that back then. Now it's not like that. You know, there's no leadership with these youngsters. I just feel like we're just in the fallen state. I think we're at a point of no return with that.
So from where you sit, and we see the trend of violence in the youth, it feels like it's getting worse. It feels like it's getting more reckless. It feels like it's getting more out of control. Do you feel like that's an accurate read on the pulse of the situation?
This shit's tricky right now, bro. If you not catch a body gang, real life gangs over somebody in traffic, get the fuck out the way. It's not going nowhere but up from here.
If I wanted to hire someone to take someone out, how many guys like you do you think there are floating around Dallas?
Oh, really? All you gotta do is open your mouth. You got young niggas volunteering to put their work in. As long as they get their mother payment and they can shine for a day or two, they put on. I believe in a higher power. But I feel more in distress by God, knowing I am wrong. So the way that I live. If you also God know your heart, if He know your intentions, He know if you wanted to take this life or not. So the game that I'm telling you right now, I'm telling you to lose. So I'm on crash out time. I don't give a who get in my way. I'm gonna get you out my way. You know?
Thursday, I got home from work and she screamed out and she came and she's like, Lou got shot. I don't know what you mean, Lou got shot. She got the car around and I remember I slammed the door and the pitch fell out. And she like, why you slam the door? I was like, man, he gone.
a big story impacted your life recently.
Right.
Tell me what that was.
Recently, two of my daughters, they were murdered by one of my daughter's boyfriends.
Tell me the business that you're in. Tell me about your business. Like, are you the builder? Are you the supplier? The wholesaler?
I do, I sell this kind of stuff, drinks, I can do drinks and shit for people. Sleeping at home, I can find profit out there,
The night it happened.
Okay.
Tell me how you heard the news, what you were doing at that time.
Saturday morning, about 7 a.m., I got a call from their mother asking had I talked to them. And she was like, well, somebody called her and said that my other daughter's boyfriend, the other person that was shot, was saying something about something happened at the apartment and we need to go check and see what's going on. About 10 minutes later, my mom called me like, she was hysterical. And I couldn't hardly understand what she was saying, but she was just like, you need to get here like now. So I drove over there as quickly as possible, and I met up with the detectives, and it was like we came to the apartment, and we found your daughters both deceased in the apartment. Yeah, it's still in process in my head. My other daughter's boyfriend was there also. He was shot. He survived. And he, was able to tell police everything they needed to know. For hours, I was just kind of sitting there like, hey, man, because I, just so used to seeing them all the time.
How old were you when you jumped off the porch?
16.
Is selling guns fund your entire life?
Yeah, I've been doing most of this shit for like 6 years.
In an average week, not your biggest week, not your smallest week, in an average week, how many pieces can you sell? So do you feel any moral obligation to filter who you sell to? What about a 12-year-old? Did they ask him for a gun? Do you ever feel like maybe I should draw a line in the sand of who I sell to so I can keep city a little safer? I mean, where would you draw the line for money? I know along here, it seems like there's a lot of people that psychologically shouldn't have a gun. What do you think about all the people right now that have guns that are willing to shoot people up for willingness thing?
Yeah, it's a problem. I'm a gun owner, and I believe in the right to own guns, but I think the vetting system should be a lot better.
Tell me about the popularity of the Switch.
I'm not getting any younger, but I could be getting better.
So just this piece alone gets somebody 10 years, right? What do you think about that? Give me a demonstration of a Switch. Wow, so it's almost like a fake license plate but for a gun. Why are killers getting so much respect in this crash out area?
You remind me of the bushes.
There seems to be a cultural wave happening, especially amongst our young people, where killing people, shooting people, being extremely reckless and violent is becoming more celebrated. How do we reverse that trend?
I'm not sure. I think it's a lot of exposure to culture, certain things we see, how things are portrayed as far as in songs and movies. And it's like we live in a fantasy world.
Do you think drum music is contributing to the cycle of violence? Can we actually blame drum music for all the violence we're seeing? How do we steer more kids into other professions?
Sit down, have a conversation, or your mama let that come around.
If you threaten me with a good time,
How far do you want to take this? Where do you want to go with this career?
you modeled that one's top floor pretty good. What's the deal with these inversions? I thought the car heat was sent away.
75% of the kids their age would choose street money over paper money, or a real job, I guess I could say, a 9 to 5. You're a man working for the city, working hard. How do we get more young people to follow in your shoes?
Starts at home. We need to teach them, there's more value in doing what's right instead of doing what's wrong. We need to just be better people.
All right, folks, with a big friend of the channel, Cheddar. He runs the page, Texas Buzz, one of the most popular Instagram pages in Texas, so go follow that. But he's been on some of the wildest missions in channel history. We got raided by Mexican police, and we're here back on the Blade. So we're going to send him in with spy glasses and see how far he can get to this world.
Hey, what's good with you? What all this is?
They're just looking at you crazy.
What is this? They told us to slide by.
Oh, this place. That's what the host mean?
The whole stroke? Where y'all slide to? Like, let's say, like, somebody pulls up, like, hey, yo, what's up? Like, I'm down. Like, where do you slide to? You go in that place right there? Let's go. Let's slide. Dude, they just park the car and walk. How do we? All right, we finna park.
I hear his ass. Yep. Loud and clear. But we go back here, let's go to the counter, we'll give them $20. I'll grab a pound, and they'll take us to the back where there's a player couch and a little table, and we just do and they go.
How much money is traveling to this parking lot right now? It's $200 a car. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 35 cars, $7,000.
A lot of Mexican guys.
A lot of Mexican guys?
Very best. I met this boy on Facebook. He and I started like Facebook dating, and he was older. I'm like, oh, hey, he kind of got me influenced on after that.
Like, what did he say to you? Like, what did he approach you with to, like, get you into guns?
Really? I was just living stressing to have a shot. Feeling I was sleeping. But, yeah. We got some stuff, and then it was like he came along with me. Like, I've never been on a date. Not real like with your girlfriend. I've never done.
Consider that? Like,
yeah.
You trying to be saved type shit?
I want to get out. I want to get out. I do want to get out the line. It's just like, back into when I got public coma by one night.
Me too. Did you give him
all your profits
in the morning? You're lying. You give him all your money? You're lying.
Every girl, every girl that's with me, they tell you they give me a percentage of their life.
That's crazy.
Yes.
What y'all want me to help you out?
But our guy's Cheddar's in there. As soon as he gets out, we leave. Is this wild to you?
Yes, it's a shit show.
What makes the police show up to something like this?
So, only way a cop will come over here is if, like, one of us called them and be like, hey, a lot of, activity going on.